All right, so let's see. According to this, I am back live, but I will have to find where I am back live. I'm having this is it's always when it crashes, it becomes complicated to figure out how to get back to where we're supposed to be. So frustrating, right? Let's see. Is that live now? Is it live? It's not. That's not live. Right? That's not live. It's not live. It's not live. That's not live. That is not live. Is it? Nope, that's not live. What's happening there? Weird. Oh, that was live, huh? Is that live? I think that's live. All right, so I'm back, babies. Let's see if we can get everybody back here. If you want to call, the number is 805-669. I dumped Michael off the line because I wasn't sure what it was going to take to get back here. So I hope everybody can hear me okay. Hold on one sec. And, okay. So, I apologize. Is the volume messed up? Is the volume messed up? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Is the volume messed up? Is it? Is it messed up? Because I'll have to do something about it if it's messed up. Otherwise, I apologize. I'm not sure why the OBS is crashing like that. If anybody has an idea about why the OBS is crashing, please let me know, because we want to fix that. It's very, very irritating. Um, mm, that volume's not low.
Take this call.
Hello, caller.
Hello? I've never called in like this before to anybody, but I'm so upset. This kid, if they get harmed or thrown in jail, what about all the women he's abused? You know? Why don't all the women start coming back out again and protesting him for assault? You know? Our president assaults all these women and gets away with it and gets elected president, and here's these young kids. So what if they're beating up on statues? Who gives a damn, right? I don't. I mean, I think the kids are precious, not the statue. But I'm sorry, I just blew up when I turned in your station online just now. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. I agree. I think the kids are much more precious than the statues. I don't give a damn about the statues, honestly. You know?
I don't either. Nobody does, I don't think, except idiots like Trump would. He doesn't care about anything. He doesn't care about the damn statues either. He just wants to make something, get people riled up, you know, his base or whatever.
Right. He wants it to be us. He wants it to be us against them.
Yeah, it's not going to be that way, I hope, in this next election. If he gets in another 4 years, this country, I'm going to Canada, I swear.
Yeah.
I'm 72 years old, and I'm going to vacate to a foreign country to get away from that SOB. I tell you, I've had enough of him. He's on, you know, I wake up in the morning, I turn my iPad on. You know, I can't even, I sleep. And if I don't go to sleep anyway, I'll turn the light back on, turn my iPad on, I'll watch my map. You know, I tell you, I want to forget he even exists. You know, I mean, eradicated, wiped off the face of this earth, honest to God. I swear.
I hear you. You know, I just want to quit. I just want to quit all the news stuff and just do gardening from now on.
Oh, that sounds so good. And I can't believe you're the real guy. I never talked to a real celebrity before.
Well,
I'm glad I called you.
I'm glad you called too. What's your name?
Sandy Martin.
Hey,
I'm
Sandy.
72.
It's good to hear from you, Sandy. Thanks very much for calling. So,
thanks for taking my call.
Have you been watching the protest?
The what test?
The protest. The protesters in the street.
some of it, not this evening as much as I have. I've been on glued on all this stuff lately, but
Yeah.
this evening, today and this evening, I'm getting ready. I'm going to have an operation on my knees, so I can get back out there and walk again. Maybe I'll be in time for some protest if I hurry up and get done by July the 8th. I think I'm going to be operated on because I can't even have a dog anymore. I can't walk the dog,
Oh.
so I'm waiting to get them all fixed up, and then I can be out there walking. And if
Yeah.
there's any protest left, I'll be daggone, I'll be in on them.
Yeah. Well, you get that knee back in shape because that's a horrible thing not being able to walk. I love walking. I love walking the dogs.
Yeah,
It's
me too.
it's
I
such a
miss a dog. My dog, I lost the last one, and I'm just can't wait to get another dog when I get better. I mean, get everything. I still got to get over her, losing her, but I want a big male dog. The bigger the better.
right
you
on.
know,
Yeah. Well,
I'm,
I mean, if you're having trouble with your knee, you want to make sure you can control the dog that you get. You don't want
oh yeah,
to.
oh I know that.
Yeah.
I volunteered at the Humane Society for years. And, I've always had all size dogs, but the big ones are always my favorite. They
Yeah.
got more brains than the little ones. I swear they do. And they'll
Yeah.
listen better to you. You
Yeah,
know?
I don't. The little ones, I'm not real attracted to either. They
No.
just I'm not sure what it is. They just don't seem like real dog.
I agree. I agree. It's the opposite. And my big dog, I tried to put him down. He saved my life, but the snake, he took all the bites from the big old rattlesnake. And
Wow.
that just about killed me. Now that was my last. That was the dog before this little old lady now. You wanted me to get the smell of her, so I did. I had a feeling it wasn't going to be quite what Ben. It'll never be like what Benji was to me. I mean, that dog sacrificed his life for me. By the time we got him to the vet, he had 105 tests for, and the vet just shook his head. I said, okay, so I held him in my arms and gave him the needle and put him to sleep.
Yeah.
I had to do it. Those rattlesnakes are whole ferocious. But I
Yeah.
had to leave the country. And here, I live right behind the woods. I bought a little, what do you call it, a townhome. It's all back here. It's all woods I look out at. And there's snakes back there, too.
Wow.
So I hate snakes. God, I
Yeah.
live in Georgia. And
Yeah.
Georgia
Oh.
and Florida are snaky.
Yeah, there's no doubt there's a lot of snakes down there for sure. I
Yeah.
live in Washington State. We haven't, I mean, we have rattlesnakes here, but we haven't really had any kind of encounters like that. We stay pretty much on the trail as much as we can.
Yeah, well, yeah, the trails that you're in woods and stuff. There's going to be snakes crawling over that trail.
Sure,
So,
sure. We just
you
don't.
know, you,
Generally, they're fairly well traveled trails. We don't go out hiking too far in the woods, and people here in Washington State love to hike. So
yeah, I'd love to see Washington State. It's beautiful.
yeah,
What do you think about your governor? The governor out there. What's his name? He's pretty nice, isn't he? That guy.
he's a horrible petty tyrant. Who
Oh,
does
he is.
well. The people of this state voted 7 years ago to legalize marijuana, and they won't let them grow it in their backyard. And it's just like we vote to get the police state off of our backs, and then they won't let us get the police state off our backs.
And he's like that. I thought he seemed pretty cool. I just saw him a couple times on TV and listened to him, but I didn't know it was his fault that you don't get
Well, it's
all
not it's
going.
not entirely his fault. The state senate and the state representatives have a lot to do with not trying to get that move forward either. But if he was to say, give the people their freedom, which he never does. I mean, it's not the focus is always kind of take away the freedom. These police state guys, they just are never ending with we can't give people back freedom. Or okay, you can have this little tiny bit of freedom back, but we might take it away from you again. When he was a congressman in the House of Representatives in Washington D.C. for Washington State, I thought that he seemed like a pretty decent guy, and had the future in the forefront of his mind, and wanted to make the world a better place. But it just seems like now he just wants to make sure
Stay in office.
everybody knows
He
who's
has to stay
boss.
in office.
Yeah, that for sure. Stay in office, stay in
Yeah.
office, yeah. And he had some
Yeah.
kind of
So
corruption thing with his brother just recently, and I can't find anything about it in the local news, so it's really disgusting.
he's got it buried already, right?
Yeah, it's really disgusting.
Mm, that's a shame.
Yeah.
But anyhow, your state must be beautiful. I'd like to see it. I did travel before I settled down and had kids. You know, I went on, I forget how many months we went all across the United States. And we went close to Canada there, like up,
Yeah,
you're right at Oregon, we
yeah,
were all over there.
yeah.
Oh, that was a beautiful trip,
Yeah,
all the way down through the shore, big shore and everywhere.
the Northwest is gorgeous. I always tell people I live in a rainforest, and they're like, "You live in a rainforest?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, pretty place to grow your weed, huh?
Well, it's a good place to be. It's a really good place to be. There's lots of trees and lots of water and lots of life everywhere you look. I like that a lot.
How did they ever stop having you for growing weed back in all that country out there? You could do it and I could never get caught. I thought there was places out there. What
Oh,
city
I'm not worried.
growing?
I'm not worried about me growing. It's everybody else. I want everyone else to have freedom. I want the police state to
Yeah.
stop, trickling out freedom. The government, the people in charge, the petty tyrants, as I like to call them, who like trickle out your freedom. Oh, you can have a little bit of freedom. Oh, and then they're like, oh, but you know what? We're not going to let you have the candies. The candies can't be these shaped. The candies, it's just all this all this fucking garbage, and
I'll be
it
glad.
just never ends with them. So
I'll be glad when they finally do legalize it. I'm like 72 and I was at state and then I got out, didn't graduate. I just zoned out and had a good time like I said, traveled and did all kinds of stuff, and then got the kids that smoked and everything in LSD. But you know what? I haven't smoked for. I mean, I had 3 kids then, and didn't do anything like right one right after another. Got married, had 6 kids.
mm,
And I have never had anything to smoke all that time.
wow,
One of these days, one of
yeah.
these days, it's got to be legal because I don't want to be a 72-year-old woman going to jail. That'd be
Yeah,
my
yeah.
life.
Well, that's a good reason to visit, Washington State or somewhere where it is legal. There's lots of places now, and and actually experience it. I tell people all the time that you're not eating enough marijuana because there's this epidemic of dementia and Alzheimer's, and the truth is that our brains are just filled with cannabinoid receptors, and I believe that the reason that there's epidemic of dementia and Alzheimer's is because the cannabinoid receptors are not getting the cannabinoids that the brain is designed to be fueled by.
What a good reason to get stoned. It sounds so good
Well,
because I'm guilty
again,
about
people
that already.
people aren't eating enough marijuana. Okay,
Well,
you don't need a reason to get stoned. Life is hard, and you want to relax for a minute. That's a good reason to get stoned. But
yeah.
but again, what I'm saying is, you ever see these stories on the news where somebody gets cancer, right? And they try every cure, and they can't get rid of the
And
cancer,
then
and
they smoke a little
then
weed
they
and they're
start
fine.
eating marijuana, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden the cancer goes away like magic, right? And what
Uh,
I'm saying is, what I say every time I see one of those stories is, it's too bad that you waited to get the cancer to start eating the marijuana. Do you hear what I'm
well,
saying?
I remember one time waking up and all the kids in our house where we lived, a bunch of us, had baked a, marijuana cake and I took it, I was sleeping on the couch and I took it in there and I sat there the whole thing. Oh, that was funny. I mean, I was stoned all day. I
Yeah, it's
didn't think,
perfect.
well,
I
that was
mean, are you
funny.
are you new to this channel?
I've seen it once or twice before, but I just lucked out on it tonight. And
Yeah.
I just got so mad, the damn statues and stuff. Oh, that guy won't he ever go away? What gets me is Kennedy was assassinated and, you know, Robert, his brother, was assassinated. Why in the hell don't they ever get a bad guy assassinated? They'll never get assassinated, those buggers, like
Well,
somebody like Trump.
You know,
I mean, I shouldn't believe that, but really.
the people that are want to keep the status quo firmly in place, those are the people that will never be assassinated because
Yeah.
because the people at the top who own those people, the status quo works very, very well. Like I always talk about a 21st century infrastructure. We're never going to get a 21st century infrastructure, which is what actually made this country great in the first place, was having a modern
Well,
day infrastructure. And
how were they able to do all that right after the war and everything? They were building all that stuff. Everybody had jobs again, you know. They
because
just assholes.
people had a sense of being united. They don't have that anymore.
No.
Everything is so divided down into these little tiny groups. If we're united, we have all the power, and we say, hey, we want a 21st century infrastructure project. It starts tomorrow. It's that simple. But
Right.
for some reason, people want to buy into this left-right bullshit that doesn't really exist except for to divide the people.
Yeah. You know, I live in Georgia, and I tell you, Florida was bad enough, but Georgia, my God, this place is just redneck haven, you know, and all Republicans. You know, I don't know why I bother voting. It never does any good, you know, because it's all Republicans. I don't know what I'm doing, but
Well, I think that deep inside why you vote. There's a reason that you vote, but
hope,
um,
hope. I still have hope somehow, I
yeah,
guess.
I had that goddamn hope. So tired of fucking hope. Shit. I've had all the hope I can fucking deal with. Um,
I know, but I sure love your show. And I need to remember when it's on. Is it on every, like this night? Is one
yeah,
night a
and
week?
well, at your time in Georgia, it comes on every night at 10 p.m.
Oh, every night at 10 p.m. Okay.
Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday.
Does it run again? Does it run in a cycle like it will come back on tonight?
Um, once the show is done, then it comes live on the web page, so you should be able to watch it anytime you want. But
Okay.
every night we do a live show Monday through Friday, and the last
Okay.
couple of weeks we've done Saturdays too because of all the craziness going on.
You gonna do this Saturday?
Yeah, the last couple of weeks we did Saturdays. I'm not something that I'm promising we're gonna do because it's a lot of work, but yeah, we did Saturdays a couple.
Well,
But
well,
Monday
what?
through Friday we'll be here. As long as we have people, like I've
Okay.
always said, as long as I have people, I just don't want to be the only one here, talking to myself, basically.
Yeah, but I can't believe I got the real guy on, on the phone. I mean, I just thought I would be calling in to, to tell you what I think that I'm with you. You know, It-
No,
it's
I'm glad
been,
to hear from you.
yeah, but I don't see hope. Even how in the hell do they put Biden? My God, that guy's a jerk.
Biden?
You know, like even if the Democrat gets in this time, what good is it going to be?
Right,
Biden is
right.
my God, I can't stand
Yeah,
him.
it's horrible.
You know,
I mean, the
um,
idea that that's the best the Democrats can come up with is just disgusting, right?
you know who I like? What Sheldon Whitehouse? Do you know who he is?
Sure, he's
Shel-
from Rhode Island, right?
yeah, I mean, he sounds like he's got some sense. You know,
Well,
I like
he's
him,
got a very statesman-like style, that's for sure.
yes, he makes me just pleased, and I smile when I see him. It's like calm. Washes over you. Like he's so soothing. And I thought your governor out there was pretty nice too, but you tell me he goes over for the status quo because he wants his job, keep his job.
Well, it's all these like when you hear people talk about defunding the police and stuff, like nobody that's in power actually wants to defund the police because the people that are in power are constantly committing crimes, and the only way that they actually get away with their dirty crimes is by the police state staying firmly in place. Otherwise, the people would
Yeah.
drag them from their giant mansions and say, "No more of this, pal."
Like they did that one. Remember out in California that one guy they dragged out of. Remember that revolt? When was it? It's been years ago. But they actually went in the office and pulled him out. Was that in San Francisco? Remember that? Long time, it's been a
No, I'm
long
not
time.
sure
You'd be
which one.
young.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about, but that sounds very interesting.
Well, they did in San Francisco. It was like a revolution. They, I can't remember now to tell you the names or anything, but it happened. They really did go in and pull people out of, their position,
Yeah,
I mean,
super
that
cool.
happened, but that was years and years ago. Probably way before. I'm 72. I mean, I've seen a lot of history.
Sure, sure.
But it's never been this bad. Never. I don't think.
Well,
I mean,
the division has never been this bad, I don't think.
no, that's it.
Yeah,
I mean, how?
because
He,
I think
he,
it's been hard, lots of times there's been hard times, but I think that the people, came together to get through the hard times, and now they're so divided that it's really difficult to know where anything is headed, right?
I know it's
Yeah.
scary. I mean, I'm so glad I got to tonight. I'll listen in Monday through Friday. So what is it going to be tonight? I gotta go tomorrow to class before my surgery and stuff. But see, tomorrow's Wednesday, right?
Yep.
So I can see you tomorrow night and Thursday night, Friday night, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay. Well, I'll be listening to you. What's your first name again?
I'm Mike. What's your first name again?
Candy or Candace, whichever. Mike.
Candace. Okay, Candace. Well, it's good to hear from you. And
well,
call
thanks
back.
for your show.
Call back anytime, okay?
Okay,
Yeah.
might do that. I appreciate it.
Okay, talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Candy from Georgia. Candy from Georgia. Everybody likes candy from Georgia, right? Those ladies in Georgia know how to make the candy real sweet, if you know what I'm saying. I'm sorry, Candace. So let's see. If anybody wants to call, I have taken the do not disturb off the line. You can call it. Feel free to call at any time. And otherwise, we're looking at the two upper right hand and the right hand side is all Seattle. Which the protest is going on, although continued. CHOP still exists, even though the mayor has said it's time for it to end. And yesterday we saw the chief of police begging to be able to use tear gas, flashbang grenades, and rubber bullets against the citizens of Seattle that she claims to serve. Begging to be able to do that. Begging, literally begging. Please let me have these tools back. Fuck you, Chief. You're not going to be welcome here much longer. Telling you for sure. Because you're not serving the people. And apparently you really haven't been for quite some time. We watched you brutalize the people again and again. Little boy, I showed you, 7-year-old boy, pepper sprayed in the face by your police officers. Where is that police officer? Why isn't that police officer suspended? That police officer is clearly a threat to little children and makes the streets less safe for little children. Why has that police officer not been identified, Chief? Why has that police officer who sprayed a little boy in the face with pepper spray and not been suspended, Chief? Because you're a horrible fucking public servant, Chief. So you know, Chief. Okay. So, I haven't even got a dab ready yet. I haven't even got a dab ready. Now, I switched over when the stuff crashed, when the OBS crashed. Again, if anybody knows why my OBS is crashing, please let me know. But when the OBS crashed, what happened was I switched from this background of all these different feeds from across the United States, Portland, Oregon, Florissant, Missouri, Columbus, Ohio, Richmond, Virginia, Los Angeles, California. We switched from this background to the down by the river background, which we usually have where my beautiful babies like to lay down by the river, and it's a very pretty background. I switched to that to show you that the Boo Bear had gone to lay down by the river, and when I switched, it crashed. And when I went to and I switched, and then the Boo Bear camera is not live for some reason. So when I switched to there, I switched back, and boom, it crashed. And I don't know why it crashed, but I'm letting you know what happened. If anybody has any ideas about why we have crashed the OBS multiple times in the last 5 weeks, I'd love to hear about it. Because it's very frustrating. So, again, the telephone number is 805-669-6397, 805 Mox News. And if anybody wants to call, the line is open. Otherwise, I think we should go ahead and heat up the bong here for a minute. Because I haven't had a bong hit today. No, that's true. That's not true. I had one bong hit today. I had to take the dogs out very early this morning because I was afraid it was going to get way too warm. It's supposed to be like 80 degrees or something. And that's just a little too hot for the dogs to walk on the asphalt, So we walked down to the park about 8:30 this morning, and we did a lap around the park, and we took the long way home. And then we got our teeth brushed. So the dogs are pretty good. In case you're wondering, my beautiful girl. Hey, girl. There's my beautiful girl, in case anybody's wondering. There's my beautiful girl. Hi, my beautiful baby. And Boo-Boo. And I can't show you where the Boo Bear is. Boo Bear, where's the Boo Bear? He's around the corner. He's like basically under the table. So, and the Boo Bear camera is not on, so that's why I was using that camera. And apparently that's why the OBS crashed momentarily ago, which made us restart the show. I again apologize if you are just rejoining us live now. Which you're just in time for my first dab of the show. If anyone would like to join me, I have a lovely bit of concentrated marijuana on the end of my dab wand. Come on, baby. Sparkle for me. Sparkle. Okay, never mind. But anyways, I have a lovely bit of concentrated marijuana at the end of this dab stick wand. And I am about to use that marijuana. I'm about to inhale those essential oils into my lungs so that I can get the maximum benefit from it. Having already heated this piece of quartz crystal to approximately 450 degrees, which we want it to cool down to somewhere around 300, hopefully. And then we'll have a little puff. feel so much better now. All right. So, anyways, if you want to call, you can call. Otherwise, again, I have these videos. If you want to play a video, I have again, the governor of this state has, just before we came on the air, made it mandatory for people to wear masks when they go out in public. Um, and if you're not wearing a mask, you will be penalized, subject to a misdemeanor criminal ticket, I guess. Um, which to me is taking it just a little too far, right? But of course, I have a medical condition. Uh, I have a lung condition, which makes it very difficult for me to breathe with the mask on, so I can't really wear the mask. I have one if you want to make me wear it, but it just is too restrictive for my airflow. I can't really get a breath of air with the mask on. And again, you can also always say that you are a concealed carry gun owner, and it is illegal for you to wear a mask while you are concealed carrying a gun. And that should probably be the end of the discussion right there. Unless, of course, it's the coppers, and the coppers will be like, well, let's see your fucking permit, because it's the fucking police state, and that's what they do. And you say, oh, okay, boom. And then the coppers say, well, he's technically correct. It is illegal for him to wear a mask while carrying a concealed weapon. So, you don't want to, and you don't want to get in trouble for some kind of a concealed weapon charge, right? That's the last thing anybody wants. So, better to get a ticket for the mask and then explain it to the judge. But you better have a decent lawyer, because the judges are just there to fuck you, and so are the public defenders. Clearly. So, let's see. Things look pretty chill. A lot of people on the street in Portland. Again, people are coming out in Portland and not going anywhere. They are just, I mean, they're hiking. They're going for a little walkabout, which is nice. Looks like a beautiful day in Portland. See lots and lots of short shorts. So scary. It's so scary. But it looks like a nice day. I would love to go for a walkabout in Portland on a beautiful day like today. They got all their pretty homemade signs. I love all the homemade signs. Always have loved the homemade signs. During the war, it was amazing with the signs. The Iraq War, in case anybody's wondering which war, there have been so many of them. Alright, so I am going to play a video for you guys real quick about the Bellevue police chief, again, talking about the looters, specifically going out of his way to say that the looters and the protesters are different groups. The looters are not associated with the protesters. He said the looters were organized, the looters were gang-oriented. He said that they had, and also, it's really important to note, is that he said that the looters, that they knew about the looters in advance, which means they knew that the looters were on their way, or were going to take some action here under the cover of the protest, and the police chose to cover the peaceful protesters instead of stopping the looters. So once again, the reason that there's looting, clear evidence, the reason that there was looting, at least in Bellevue, was because the police chose to allow it to happen. Okay? So we're very clear about who's responsible for the looting and the criminally oriented, organized gangs. He says it's a very organized criminal gang. Okay? So, and that the police had advance notice. I think it's very, very, very important to hear those things. And so I'm going to play it for you now.
Developing now. Nearly 24 people are behind bars linked to the looting and destruction at Bellevue Square and other stores a few weeks ago. Detectives recovered weapons and tens of thousands of dollars worth of stolen merchandise. KEMO's Suzanne Fawn is live in Bellevue to explain how police made those arrests. Suzanne?
Well, we're at the main entrance of Bellevue Square, and you can see this afternoon some of the businesses badly impacted by the looting. According to Bellevue's police chief, detectives have made, or just getting started rather, with the arrests, and they've arrested 23 people so far, and they have identified nearly 100 others. Take a close look at what detectives managed to recover during the arrests. Bellevue's police chief says at the home of one accused looter, investigators seized guns, drugs, and cash, and nearly $19,000 worth of clothes. On Sunday, March 31st, police say hundreds of looters ransacked dozens of stores at the Bellevue Square and Lincoln Square. Bellevue police chiefs say the looters had a well-organized plan and the organizers have gang ties. Authorities say the looters waited until the peaceful protest was underway before targeting Bellevue businesses.
We have been working hard to identify the individuals that victimized Bellevue, exploited the tragic death, homicide of George Floyd, and we're going to be bringing people to justice.
The chief says that more arrests are coming. Police say they had some information early on that looters were coming. The looting was a double blow for businesses who were already hurting from the COVID-19 outbreak and the governor's stay-at-home order. Back here live now, a closer look again at the damage. The chief emphasizes that the looters were not connected to the peaceful protesters who gathered in Bellevue. Live in Bellevue, Suzanne Fawn, KEMO News.
Thank you.
All right, well, good. I'm so glad that the OBS did not crash during the transfer between that video and back to the browser, because that would suck. It sucks every time that happens. And I love the Lego movie. If you haven't seen the Lego movie, I love the Lego movie. It's very dry humor, but it's hilarious. And Batman, Will Arnett plays Batman. He plays Batman in the Batman Lego movie and in the Lego movie, and he's fucking brilliant to the point of no one else should ever play Batman again. And I will never watch another Batman movie until it's Will Arnett who is the Batman, because he is the only one for that job. I'm telling you. Perfect. He's fucking perfect for it. Okay, so again, if anybody wants to call, the number is 805-669-6397, and I have the line open, so we can talk about what you are seeing on the screen, or about the police letting the looting happen, which means the police are responsible for the looting. If we're looking for someone to blame, they didn't pull the trigger, but they did nothing to stop it. In fact, they got out of the way. And that's the fact, Jack. But again, I'm telling you people, the last thing you want to do is smash, break anything, set fire to anything. The last thing you want to do, they're going to make examples out of all of these people above and beyond. So don't break stuff. It's the police that break stuff. It's the police that do the violence. Let them do the violence. And then the whole world will be watching when it happens. Right? And that's why the whole world is out in the streets, because the whole world has been watching it happen again and again and again. And we can do better. We deserve better. The good working class and poor people of this country deserve so much better. They don't deserve, their children do not deserve to live in trembling fear and have PTSD from the fact that they are terrified, and nightmares from the fact that they're terrified the police are going to kill their daddy, or come and arrest them, or their big brother, or even their sister, or their mom. You know? It's horrific to think that that's just the reality, you know, that the reality they have to live in day after day, because this police state, because of this over-criminalization of the people, because of this comply or die police state, that you no longer have any rights once you're dealing with them. All your rights are null and void, and so is your life, if you are not prepared to deal with them in a better way. You know, meaning if you don't have a fuck ton of cash to, you know, make sure that you don't actually get in trouble, you know, all bets are off, basically. Meaning your life could be completely ruined. Just because they were after somebody like Breonna Taylor, right? They were after somebody. They had a no-knock warrant for someone that they're looking for, that the police already had in custody. That's who the warrant was for. They went to the house, and they kicked the door open, and they start shooting. And they kill this person, Breonna Taylor. Right? It's not, we can do better than that. There's no reason for a no-knock warrant. That's just bullshit. Okay? If you can't take down people without, you know, dropping flashbang grenades into the crib of an 18-month-old, which we've seen happen, and the police say they did absolutely nothing wrong, again and again, you know, then don't put down these people because they have the guts to stand up against a comply or die police state, you know, with their hands in the air, begging them not to shoot, because they understand that at any moment this comply or die police state could just mow them down. Hands up, don't shoot. Please don't shoot us. Please don't shoot us. That's the world, that's the reality that they're living in. That's the reality that they're saying, we can do better than this. That's the reality of what they're trying to change. And you want to boil it down to like, oh, it's all about this one guy. This has been going on a long time. And it's not something new for me. If you go to the front page of this Mox News YouTube page, you will find a playlist on police brutality. And Tamar Rice is at the top of that playlist. And there's a whole bunch of other very important videos that have been collected for a very long time. And if it doesn't matter to you, then, you know, there's really nothing we can do, is there? You've allowed the fear to enter your life. You've allowed the hate to enter your life. Doesn't matter to you that a 12-year-old boy, Tamar Rice, was killed less than 2 seconds after police exited their car. While he's a 12-year-old boy playing in the park, the police called to investigate, and less than 2 seconds after they get out of the car, he's dead on the ground. That's okay with you. And they didn't do anything wrong, by the way. It was found to be a justified shooting, by the way. 12-year-old boy playing in the park. That's the country we live in. That's the PTSD that the children are suffering from. They're terrified. And so, I mean, you got them terrified of fucking school shooters. You got them terrified of fucking plague. You got them terrified of fucking terrorists. You got them terrified of fucking of everything. Murder hornets. We can do better. Your children deserve better. You know? Fuck this media. Fuck this media who wants to be, oh, fear, fear, fear. And why can't you see it? Fear, 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 fear. You know? Divide, 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 divide. How could you buy into the fear? How can you buy into the divide when you know they've been just spoon feeding it to us for 20 years? And now it's like, oh, yeah, no, it makes sense. Fear, fear, fear. Divide, divide, divide. I'm 100% on board. Really and truly, that's what you think is what needs, is the most important thing? Because again, you know, you can stand with freedom or you can stand with the police state. And the choice is yours. Right? And I made that choice long ago. Those of you who want to say somehow I'm the one buying into the programming. I'm the one buying into the fear, fear, fear. Doesn't seem like it. I'm the one buying into the divide, divide, divide. Really? Because I keep saying stand with the people. And you want to stand with the police state. Those are your choices. And if you stand with the police state, you have to ask yourself, why would you be so afraid as to need to stand with the police state instead of freedom? Because I don't know how you got so afraid. I mean, I guess I do. You know, the terrorists, the terrorists, the terrorists, ISIS, 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 Russia, 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 China, 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 right? COVID, 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 COVID. Is that how it happened? And you guys have seen it all along, right? You've seen the fear, the fear, the fear, right? I mean, we watched the programming, the divide, divide, divide. We watched it clearly, and yet you now want to buy into it wholeheartedly? Really? I mean, I've done this for 17 years. I pointed it out again and again and again. I pointed out the people have to come together so that we can take the power back from the police state. Again and again and again and again. I remember Steve McClanahan talking about how we were going to have, keep asking me, so we're going to take back the government? I said, that's right, we're taking back the government. We're tired of the police state. You know, way before any of this shit happened, you guys who've been around remember, we're taking back the government? That's correct. And why that is so scary to you, why you would want to side with the government, knowing full well that the government is the only detriment, the only true threat to your real freedom, to your personal freedom. The government is the only real threat. And you want to side with them? The police state, the spying, the surveillance state? We can make all this better if we just come together. But it's like all of a sudden now you just want to submit to that? All of that is good with you? Okay. If that's how you choose to live your life, that's how you choose to live your life. And it is a conscious choice, even though the programming is overwhelming. The programming is never ending. The programming is divide, divide, divide. But you would think it would be so obvious to see it. That when you saw the divide, divide, divide programming, especially when you see it begin to work. especially when you see them begin to work on you, that you would say, hey, wait a minute here. Who wins? Who wins by dividing us? The status quo wins. The status quo. That's what you're standing with if you're divided from these people. You're you're voting for the status quo. You're choosing consciously the status quo. Instead of choosing to stand with the people, instead of choosing to join with the people so that we have all the power, instead of choosing to stand for freedom instead of the police state. You're choosing that consciously, whether you want. Man, we hear the people say, I can't do it, I can't stand with these. No, you can. You're choosing not to. I can't stand with these people because of this. No, you can. You're choosing to focus on this little tiny thing, lots of you, this thing that doesn't even exist within the protest. As the chief of police in Bellevue just explained, the protesters and the looters are not connected. They're not the same. They're not even close to the same. The looters are an organized criminal group, gang-oriented. Boom. It has been explained to you. And yet you want to equate all these people in exactly that same way. So you can go, I can't stand with them. Of course you can. And when you say I can't, so we're clear, when you say I can't, what you're doing is giving up all your personal power. Okay, so, and you should question when you do that, who is it that I'm giving up all this personal power to? You're giving it up to the police state clearly to make up your mind for you. I can't do that. Yes, of course you can. You're choosing not to. You're choosing to buy into the police state. And you don't give up your personal power. Your personal power is extremely important. And that's what you do when you say I can't. Do not give up your personal power. Hello, caller. You're very strong. You people are at the top of the food chain. You can make anything happen unless you give up your personal power. Unless you don't even understand how strong you are. What's up, caller?
Hi, Bob.
Hey, man. Who's this?
It's Manny.
What's up, Manny?
It's okay. Let me put my headphones. Can you hear?
Okay, what's up,
Can you
Manny?
hear me?
Yeah?
Yeah, okay. I have to put my headphones.
Uh-huh.
Little Mark, I'm very upset right now because the status of we are actually in an actual cultural revolution as we speak right now.
So, hey, Manny, something happened to your... Hey, Manny, something happened to your microphone. Manny, something happened to your microphone, so it keeps going higher and lower.
Okay. Can you hear me better now?
Uh-huh.
So basically what we are right now is in another cultural revolution right now. A bunch of kids that they feel like they're changing and saying that what they're not. They're destroying history, and now they're going to repeat the goddamn history. They're becoming a new Nazi group.
Mm-hmm.
You know that in California they're trying to repeal the Equal Protection Act so they can actually discriminate against minorities.
I again, Manny, you just moved from this standpoint of fear over and over again, dude.
This is not even a fear anymore. This is anger. I really wanna.
Fear is often expressed as anger and hatred. We've had this discussion many times. Okay.
Well, if that's the case, I'm afraid of these people because they're completely misguided and they're gonna grab me, but eventually I'm gonna be taken by their stupidity though.
And were you afraid of the terrorist for like the last 20 years when the mainstream media told you to be afraid of the terrorist, be afraid of the terrorist?
I was afraid of any person yelling alive, creating in Arabic.
and because these people really believe in their stuff and they really want to destroy this country.
These people are betraying the country. Is that right?
These people really believe that that they're trying to say whatever religion or whatever thing that they're trying to say. So, and they really believe that America is Satan. That if you listen to the reports, that's what they actually said. That's what they believe. They believe that America is Satan.
Well, what makes America great and sacred is that it has freedom to go into the street and demand that your representative government hear your voices.
I agree, but it has to be in a reasonable way, though. Not defunding the police. Defunding the police is the most dumbest idea that I ever heard.
Right.
And you know what?
Just like that's exactly what Don Lemon and Bill Maher keep saying.
That is the dumbest idea ever? I absolutely agree.
Yeah, you agree with Bill Maher and Don Lemon? Wow.
If that's what they say, which I'm actually surprised they actually say that, though. I mean,
None of the fucking rich people want the police defunded. They all agree it's fucking stupid idea, Manny. Because the rich can't exist without the fucking police state firmly in place.
You know what's gonna happen, though? Like if the rich people suddenly end up with an actual police force, they're just gonna hire their own private police force. So it's gonna become a libertarian utopia. And trust me, that's gonna happen, though. You're gonna see private armies going.
The police are their own private police force already, Manny. The police fucking protect the rich. That's how people like Donald Trump have been allowed to get away with their crimes that they've done against poor people who can't afford a $5,000 an hour attorney for years and years and generations and decades.
No, Donald Trump knows how to play the fucking system. That's the difference.
No, that's why he loves the police. Oh, we love our cops so much. Because without them, rich people like him who commit continuous crimes against the little guy would not be able to exist. The people would take care of them.
How is this playing the police? According to you, apparently that the police is so corrupt and so misguided that the little people have no chance against them. You know what's the problem here? The problem is that the rich people, they have resources to buy some freaking goddamn attorneys and who knows how to fucking play the system, that the middle ones don't even have 5,000 an hour attorneys to deal with the system. This is why the middle guy was end up on the bad side or end up on jail or end up losing in most court situations. So because they don't have the resources to hire a person who knows how to manage to navigate through the system.
And that's not fair. That's not fair.
It is not fair, though, because this is not about I don't know, black and white or like a race thing. This is about money. It's about class.
Yeah, of course.
It's one of the few things. It's one of the very few things that I actually agree with communist people do.
Well, this is what I keep talking about, the working class and the poor, man. Okay? And this thing about, if you can't afford an attorney, you're fucked. Because it's just a matter of plea bargaining, and you're lucky to get a good plea bargain, so just take the deal. That's all there is to it, and it just makes it so that basically these people, a lot of them, because of the prison system and the unfair justice system, they become slaves.
No, you know what's unfair? It's not that the justice system is unfair. The fact that they cannot afford an attorney that knows how to navigate to the system is unfair. The justice system itself is fair. The reason why these people poor people disproportionately end up in jail is because they don't have an attorney or they don't have anyone with them defending them and they know how to fucking navigate the system. That's what's going on.
Well, then it's not fair because it's not equal. It's not equal, and if it's not equal, it's not fair.
You're putting the attorneys with the actual justice system, which is not the case.
Of course it is. The justice system is completely broken. They did 47,000 new laws in 2018, dude. Okay? The people have been over-criminalized. They're being over-policed on top of it. The justice is basically just a revenue for the government, and it's disgusting. That's not what justice should be about. Justice should be about protecting people's rights. Does it seem like justice is about protecting people's rights to you?
I don't know, dude, but
Of course you do. It's not about that. It's about taking away their rights. Just like religion. It's about taking away your freedom that God gave you in the first place. About controlling people. That's what the policing is all about. That's what the justice is all about. And these people are good people. They all would just rather have a good job and work their little lives and live their little lives and enjoy whatever there is to enjoy. But instead, they have to forever look over their fucking shoulder to make sure there's not a cop there. So that the cop doesn't fucking ruin their world or brutalize them in some way because they said something that cop doesn't fucking like.
all right, man. Listen, something just came out of me, but I want to go more into depth with you about this, but something just came out and I have to take care of this.
Okay.
I'll talk to you in the next stream though, because I mean, you have very good points, and at least we agree that the problem is not about
And there,
whether or not you're black and white. It's about the resources, the money. It's about class.
And again, and these are, like you said, these are the young people. These are people who have their whole adulthood ahead of them, Manny, and they don't want to spend it having to constantly feel like, at any moment they could be crushed by the police state. It's a horrible way to live. And think again of all these little kids who actually, when they see the cops, they're terrified the cops are coming to take their parents or something, Scary fucking shit, dude.
All right, man.
All right, bye. Thanks for calling. And we can do better. And the working class, the good people deserve better. The poor people who struggle every day deserve better, right? I mean, it's so unfair and so miserable. I think this is why we have this giant epidemic of suicide in the country. On top of, this other things, like you're not eating enough marijuana. But that's mostly why there's a dementia epidemic. That's why there's an Alzheimer's epidemic. That's why there's a cancer epidemic, because you're not eating enough marijuana. Okay? That's pretty much what it boils down to. I mean, there's a whole bunch of free radicals out there that are totally fucking with our environment. But, that is what it is. But the facts are that the cannabis helps fight off the cancer. The cannabis helps keep your mind sharp, regardless of what you've been told and programmed to believe. Reefer madness! That's not what's causing the Alzheimer's. It's not getting enough cannabinoids to the cannabinoid receptors in the brain, so the brain stops functioning correctly. Check it out. You don't believe me? Type in cannabis, Alzheimer's, and see what comes up. Type in cannabis, dementia, and see what comes up. Type in cannabis, cancer, and see what comes up. Okay? It's that simple. And the truth is that people are taking all these other supplements, right? They're taking all this garbage that's like that the pseudo pharmaceutical company, the supplement industrial complex is putting into a pill is just garbage. That they can charge you $40 a month because somehow, they've got you believing that this placebo is actually having a positive effect. Which again, if the placebo is having a positive effect, that's not a negative thing. It's just, it would be much better to actually see, which you can clearly see if you type in Alzheimer's and cannabis into the Google, right? Which you can clearly see is the regenerative qualities that cannabis seems to have for people's mind and brain functions. and it's been documented again and again. So it's just a matter of whether or not you really want to make sure that your parents don't get the dementia. That your dad, who's showing signs of the dementia, Dad, I want you to take a cookie. I want you to have these cookies. I want you to eat one in the morning and one in the evening. And we're not going to take the pills right now. We're just going to have the cookies for the next 2 weeks and see how that works. Because if that's all there is to it, is getting this proper actual supplement that everyone's supposed to be in everyone's diet. There's a reason that cannabis grows anywhere and everywhere. Because it's meant to be in our diets. Because it's meant to be this resource that's available to anyone who is willing to throw a couple of seeds into the ground and reap the benefits. But of course, this police state government makes clear that planting flowers is one of the worst crimes you can possibly commit. We will take your home. We will take your children. We will take your assets. We will shoot your dogs. Maybe shoot you because you grew flowers in the backyard. Who the fuck do you think you are? Again, broken police state in which the people deserve better, the good law-abiding citizens, because
you need to press 1 to take this call.
They're the only ones the laws really affect. Hello, caller.
Hey, what's going on, Mike?
I am doing this thing that I do. What is going on with you?
Not much, man. Not much. Just looking around and seeing craziness everywhere.
Yeah, people are in the streets,
Year
man.
2020.
People are in the
Pretty
streets.
nuts.
I love it. I can't get enough. It doesn't matter. Like when the protesters took over the Capitol building in Lansing, Michigan, right? The title of my show was Liberators Unite. You know, so to me, it's always the people in the street are all about freedom, and I love it. I love freedom. It's why I do this thing that I do.
Yeah, I love freedom too. I do wish that it was a little different, though. I wish there wasn't active forces trying to destabilize us along with good people trying to protest. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think I think
Go ahead.
there's a lot of good people. Well, first off, this should have been a unifying event.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in America is absolutely against police brutality. Everyone. There's not a single person that thinks police brutality against any color or any person is okay.
Right.
We're all against that. This should have 100% unified the country, and instead it just put a gash right in the middle of it. I definitely don't like how Black Lives Matter does it.
Mm-hmm.
It should be an all lives
Well, it's
matter.
not. It's right, but it's not just how Black Lives Matter does it. It's how the media does it also. You know, the media acts like these people are criminals who, we can't have this. We can't have this in a.
Be held criminally responsible.
Yeah, we can't have. I mean, what I hear is the media saying we can't have this in America, and that makes me sick. I agree. They need to be held criminally responsible for their propaganda, for wars, for their telling us for generations that marijuana has zero medicinal qualities. A whole bunch of things.
Yeah, all they're pretty much is propaganda to make half the country hate the other half, so that we don't unify.
That's exactly what their job. It's like, and I just can't. I'm so disgusted by how the local media is acting the same way as the mainstream media. Like that's exactly what their job is to keep us as divided as possible, so that we never have the power.
Yep.
What's your name?
Yeah, and it's Travis.
Hey, Travis.
Ward. I've contacted you before. I live in Indiana. One time you were doing a show on, I don't know, something about open carries or something, or carrying into churches or whatever, and whatnot.
Yeah.
So of course I carry.
Yeah, well, I talk about Second Amendment. I think that the founding fathers were brilliant with the Second Amendment. I think that they knew that there was going to be that power corrupts, and that there was going to be a need for the people to be able to stand up against the police state. They knew it, and the way that they phrased it, like, first you have the right to live your life the way you choose, and second, no one's ever going to take that right away from you, unwillingly. You can give it up, but no one's ever going to take it from you.
Yeah, they were brilliant people, that's for sure.
Yeah,
and
I believe honestly that without the Second Amendment, we really wouldn't have any rights at all at this point.
No.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's holding them back.
Right.
And even then, they're just itching to take that away.
Fuck yeah. Obama used to say, nobody's coming to take your guns. And every time he'd say it, I'd come out and I'd be like, you guys understand why nobody's coming to take your guns? Because we have fucking guns. That's why they're not coming. If they thought they could come and take your guns and nothing would happen, they'd be doing it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. That's one thing that upset me kind of with the Virginia rally, was the only thing, like, everybody was all happy with that. But I wasn't really happy with that, because all they really showed the government was that they could take our guns without a fight. Because they said, the governor said, that Governor Blackface or whatever said, hey, I'm going to take your guns away. And then everybody says, the hell you are. And then they showed up, and then he said, you know what, I'm just going to do an executive order that say you can't have guns at the rally. And then everybody was like, oh, well, show us where the get fucked zone is, and we'll go protest there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, again, the last thing you want to have problems with is like a weapons charge. It's understandable why, that people, don't want to get in trouble. That's very understandable. And the truth is that the people with the guns understand that there will come a time to stand up, and we're just making clear that we are actually prepared for that when that time comes.
Yeah. One thing that does scare me though with this Black Lives Matter movement is it seems like there's a lot of power behind it, and it seems like it's the left version of the Nazi Party.
Mm-hmm. Well,
you know what I mean? Like, it seems like I could just see. It seems like they're taking over, and they're coming to power rapidly.
I think.
I could see if they came to power.
Go ahead.
I could see us losing our right for guns and everything. Like, I could honestly see genocide happen pretty quick.
Again, Obama had, the Senate and the House of Representatives while he was in the White House, and they did absolutely nothing about guns. And the reason they did absolutely nothing about guns is because they can't, dude. It ain't gonna happen. The people won't stand. They do these stupid polls where they say, 97% of people want gun reform. That's such a fucking lie. And it's
just a joke.
Yeah, the polls are completely a joke, and they're just there to try and manipulate people's opinions. Don't believe them for 1 second.
I also hate.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Travis.
Like the 100% Trump droids. Like, I'm definitely not a Trump droid. Like, I even tell him, Trump's worse on the Second Amendment than Obama was.
Yeah.
He's banned bump stocks. Obama didn't even ban anything.
Right. With executive order, he banned shit. Go ahead.
Yeah. Nobody even asked him to do that. He just did that on his own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what was up with that? And I don't know. I just see the whole COVID thing. I wish, I do like some of the things that Trump's done, but man, I'm definitely not a Trump droid. I like some of the sex trafficking and stuff like that. I really like what he's done with a lot of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's cleaned that up a lot. He's done some good things, but man, he's just not the catch-all, be-all, end-all. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
I don't even know who I'm going to vote for this next time.
It's
definitely not voting for Biden, but
right.
I probably not going to vote for Trump either.
Right. Well, I mean,
I'm voting Democrat, Republican.
yeah, I think we have to stop that entirely. Anybody with an R or a D next to their name just has to be not acceptable.
Yeah, they've proven both sides are just doing nothing but what's bad for the country.
I honestly believe you're going to get the same outcome from either side. You know.
Yeah.
So we have to try for something better. And honestly, I think that all the parties should be banned. There shouldn't be parties. When you go to a vote on election day, it should be Americans voting for Americans, not, fucking Democrats voting for fucking Democrats, fucking Republicans voting for fucking Republicans. Because it would be so much more like a patriotic thing, It wouldn't be like this, this side, that side bullshit that nobody really wants to participate in anymore.
No, and it doesn't really matter. I mean, heck, it was probably your videos that I saw where they, on national television, I think it was 2012, where the Democrat National Committee and the Republican National Committee voted like it was Boehner up there and he was reading the prompter.
Mm-hmm.
On national TV, they just went against what our delegates voted on.
Yeah.
So that's like the quintessential voting essence of the whole entire country. And they just gave him the finger on national TV.
Yeah,
and that one black senator or whatever for the Democrat Republican had to read it like twice. And he looked over and she was like, just go with it. They don't care. And I was like, after that, I was like, wow, I guess our vote really doesn't matter.
It doesn't seem to matter, but it's, again, because they have us divided. If we could get beyond the divide and come together, I think actually our vote might matter, I think we could make anything happen if the people could move beyond the fucking bullshit division, which is all programming, and the only one who wins is the status quo. And one of these things, like, this thing about Trump is that, you want to like him because he points at the mainstream media and he says all these people are the enemy of the state, right? And you go, yeah, mm-hmm. Fuck yeah, and because I that's like music to my ears, But then he goes, we love our cops, don't we love our cops? And it's like the media is just another arm of the police state, So it's this very confusing message.
The whole kind of coup thing with the FBI and all that, and you get the news media and be like, oh, it's only the top. There's good. No, it's not only the top.
Yeah.
I mean, why do we need all these agencies?
Right.
That just spy on all of us and
right. They don't seem to ever be able to actually stop an attack from happening. But
no.
But this guy's on their radar every fucking time, who is able to pull off an attack,
mm-hmm.
and actually kill people. Why? Because it benefits them to show, see, we have to have this in place, otherwise more of this is going to happen. Fuck you, it happened on your watch, asshole. You knew about this guy. What the fuck?
Well, I mean, the FBI sometimes pretty much loads them up with all the equipment they need.
Yeah, the FBI.
The FBI. Like, we were just kind of handling.
Right.
Yeah, you drugged them up and told them what to do.
Yeah, and apparently they kept like two of the the September 11th hijackers in a safe house right up until a week before, an FBI safe house right up until a week before the attack, apparently.
Yeah, they were watching them.
Yeah, well, they weren't watching them. They weren't watching them. These two that I'm talking about were actually being protected by them. They were in an FBI safe house.
Mm-hmm.
Where you take somebody when they're in danger. And you need to have a safe place to be. They took these supposed terrorists who took down the Twin Towers into this place and protected them right up until a week before the event. So.
Well, and then all of them are pretty much Saudi Arabia, and we go to war with Iraq.
Right. Yeah, that too. which no one in the government has ever. Well, the war with Iraq is just a lie. But it's all a lie, it's clearly all a lie, and again, the people deserve better. This is the whole problem with this country, is that all the pillars of our community are completely full of shit, You know, the politicians are all completely full of shit. The medical industrial complex is full of shit. The police are full of shit. The fucking garbage religions are full of shit. Everything is just garbage, and it's all based on lies. You know, so yeah, of course these young people are out in the street going, "Fuck, we can do better than this shit." That's for sure.
Yeah.
At least that's the way I see it.
Yeah, how long are you gonna do your live show tonight?
I don't ever know, honestly. It's like, you know, sometimes sometimes we go 2 hours and sometimes we go 6 hours. So
this COVID thing too scares me because I could see the medical industrial complex just going 100% on this one, making us have some kind of vaccine passport or some bullshit.
Well, yeah, dude. Well, I've talked about this from the beginning, Travis. I said you have to have the tracking app on your phone from the very beginning. I've talked about this, and unless you have a green light on the app, you are no longer going to be welcome in the grocery store. Eventually, that's
yeah.
And by the way, our local news just did a story about how it's fake that Apple and Google are signing you up for new tracking apps for the COVID-19, but it's not fake because Craig, my roommate, has a Google phone, and on the last update, they downloaded a a COVID-19 tracking app to his phone. He didn't have to approve it or anything. It's just part of his shit now. So, you know.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yep. It's coming at you, people. And that's what we've always been about here. Is just, you know, this look. You guys know this. I've always said, don't buy into the fear. Don't buy into the fear. The COVID-19 has been fear. You know, the terrorists. Since 2001, you know, it's just been fear. And now all of a sudden, you know, it's like you guys, you know, are buying into the fear, buying into the division. The left-right is more strong than ever. And the people are only going to lose.
Yeah, it's scary how fearful everybody, all the people got.
Yeah, they just
let the government say stay inside, and they didn't even. I mean, there was protests happen too. That's why the whole Floyd thing seemed kind of weird how it popped up. It just seemed like they were like, you know what, these protests, these regular people protests about being cooped up are getting a little too big, and then all of a sudden now we have Rodney King style race riots all over.
Well, these aren't really riots, you know. I mean, riots kind of imply, you know, things being broken and burned, and that's not what's been going on for the last 2 weeks. The first few days, you know, there was burning and breaking of things, but that's not what we've watched night after night here. Thousands and thousands of people march by plate glass window after plate glass window and not ever break a single thing. So, and I just played a video about the police chief saying, you know, that the looters are different. They're not part of the protest. They're organized gang members.
Too. Yeah, that's all our government work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They did it with the Tea Party. They did it with the Wall Street protests. You know what I mean? Like anytime there's any kind of a size with any kind of protest that's actually real, they're going to plant people inside it.
Yep.
To just make chaos.
For sure. And not only
Antifa, I think everybody in Antifa is hired and paid for basically mercenaries.
It sure seems like it to me too. Is they're just provocateurs trying to make, you know, people look bad. And I mean, you know, I look. It's hard enough, you know, for the people to come together. And again, that's why you can't buy into this programming. We talk about this. It's a little teeny tiny percentage of people who are actually doing anything criminal. Like less than 1/10% would be my guess. And then the mainstream.
A lot of people dying from COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tiny bit.
Yeah, and the mainstream media, you know, just everything is a COVID death, and every protester is a rioter and a looter, and that's a bunch of bullshit. And
you're in California, right?
I'm in Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah, I have a California telephone number because it's 805 Mox News, so that works pretty good for us. You know.
All right. Well, I will let you get off and maybe hit up the bowl and talk to another caller.
Right on, Travis.
Rest yourself.
Right on. We'll make sure.
Good talking to you, Mox.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you too. I look forward to talking again soon. Okay.
All right. Cool, man.
All right. Stay
later.
See ya. Okay. So let's see. If anybody wants to call, the number is 805 Mox News. That's 805-669-6397, and you are welcome to call at any time. Otherwise, it looks like, does that say Seattle Police? What's that say right there? Oh, it says no loitering. Is that what it says? Hey, skateboarding's not a crime, fuckers. I think that looks like a police department. Could be anything, but I think that's a police department there we're looking at in the middle screen in Seattle. And then we have the Capitol Hill Occupy protest in the upper right-hand corners. Down in the bottom right-hand corner, that looks like St. Louis, Missouri. I don't know what's going on there, but the people seem kind of heated. There may be... they may have had some issue earlier in the day. I have a video about protesters clashing with Arizona police outside the Trump event, and apparently it seems like the Arizona police used some kind of pepper spray or some kind of irritant on the protesters, and there was a bunch of little children there. And again, we can do better than that. We got to have cops that aren't hurting children, okay? We got to have cops who don't believe that it's okay to hurt children in such a way, to fuck with children so horrifically, you know, to traumatize children, to make them suffer PTSD and nightmares, possibly for years to come, right? That's what it's like to be brutalized by the police. I don't know what's going on in St. Louis, but it looks like it is a little bit heated there, right? Doesn't it? So let me see if I can figure out what's going on there. Protester accidentally shoots himself inside outside police station. Black Lives Matter mural covered up. Okay, so I guess a protester accidentally shot himself in the foot in Missouri. Apparently that's partially what's happening there. I'm not sure. Outside the police department. That would have made great video. I'm sorry we missed that, guys. But we got all this other stuff going on. And it looks like it's a little bit hot there in Missouri. So we're going to want to keep an eye on Missouri here. Those cops got to be getting close to shift change. Oh no, let's see. It's probably like an hour before shift change. So they probably got like a half hour of the local news left in the St. Louis, Missouri. And then I will bet you, as soon as the local news goes off the air in Missouri, in about a half hour from now, those cops are going to get all crazy up in here. But they're not wearing gas masks, so maybe not. Maybe it will be chill. We'll see. We'll see. Everyone's watching. The world is watching, Missouri. Coppers. So pay attention. That girl strapped? What's she wearing there? That canteen? Oh, it's probably some kind of gas mask or anti tear gas stuff. Who knows? So yeah, I believe that is outside the police station. The police station there in Seattle. In Oregon, they are gathering in the park. It looks like quite a few people showing up in the park there in Oregon. Once again, a beautiful day. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. They're going to go for a little walkabout, I bet, anytime now. Or actually, they'll probably wait until it gets dark. It cools down. It'll cool down considerably after it gets dark. I imagine it's kind of warm in Oregon, in Portland today. It was like 80 degrees here, which is like 150 anywhere else. So it's like, oh, I can't breathe. But we'll see. You just watch. We'll see. Okay, and if anybody wants to call, the number is 805-669-6397. 805-669-6397. Let's see what we got on the loco. Let me see what we got on the loco. Got the loco coming on here. We'll take a look at that. See what that has to say about that in a minute here. And I'm getting hungry. So again, if you guys are new to Mox News, we do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So you want to be sure and subscribe and hit the notification button, the bell or whatever you call it, so that you know what's going on the page. And I do updates daily of lots and lots of different information. Today, currently there are over 11,200 videos on this one Mox News YouTube page. So if you are new to Mox News, please be sure and take a good look around. Look around, round, round, round. But we should get a puff. That girl having a puff is on the police department steps, making me Jones for a puff. I want to have a puff on the police department steps. Let's see. Wait. Oh, that right there. Okay, so we did that one. Let's see. Oh, contact tracing. Here you go. I got something for you for contact tracing. Check this out. The latest in contact tracing fashion.
A new device will help NBA players as they head back to the hardwood next month. This smart ring can track a user's health data and even predict if they're about to show symptoms of coronavirus infection. The ring is one of several wearable devices being studied to see if they can actually detect COVID-19. The device is optional for players.
So I know all of you are going to want to get one of those. All you gadget guys and gals are going to have to have one of those, right? So you know right away if you've been in contact. Or if you have a fever. I believe that the Fitbit is doing something similar to that. So Washington, D.C., again, is organizing because they're being called terrorists and being threatened by the petty tyrant in chief. He's gonna do everything he can to fuck these proud Americans' world. You can count on it. Let's see, contact tracing. I also have a video about a New York cop that was suspended without pay. Mind you, and this is the reason that I actually am playing this video, is because our buddy Michelle from Texas brings up over and over again how, when the cops get in trouble, they get suspended with pay, which is basically a 2-week vacation. But this cop in Portland, this cop in New York was suspended without pay after being caught on video. Again, this is the most important part. Being caught on video doing a chokehold, which has now been, which is now no longer allowed. So let's watch that real quick. Hold on. Police Washington, D.C., police in Missouri. I think we're good. Hold on. All right, let's watch that video real quick. Again, New York cop suspended without pay for doing a chokehold.
In New York, a police officer has been suspended without pay for putting a man in a chokehold. It's a move now banned by police in the state. We're learning today the man who was placed in a chokehold by the officer will not face any charges. The NYPD released body camera footage of the incident as part of a new city directive, and you can see the officer pinning the man down and placing him in a chokehold. Bystanders were heard telling him to, quote, stop choking him. It's when another officer stepped in, tapped him on the back, and the officer released his grip. The person who was put in the chokehold received medical treatment. Officers on scene say the incident was sparked because the men seen on the video were taunting officers. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo says there needs to be a change in policing in order to repair the relationship between the community and police.
It's not are the police right or the police wrong. Once the community stands up and says, we don't trust the police, we don't respect this type of policing, the game is over because it's a relationship. And the relationship is now breached. And it only takes one side of the relationship to say this relationship doesn't work for me.
Okay, so the protesters in Washington, D.C. are at the bottom of the screen there, and they seem to be having a very heated discussion with the police at this moment, so we want to keep an eye on that. But I thought it was important to, again, see that this cop was suspended without pay, which is something that we haven't seen in the past. I mean, when this fucking piece of shit New York cop killed Eric Garner with a chokehold, he got suspended with pay, and in fact looked into the camera and did a peace sign and said, one of the people that was filming him at the scene, and said, I'm going to Disneyland. Moments after he killed Eric Garner. That's what he's with, a big fucking smile on his face. I'm going to Disneyland. Fuck those people. Don't tell me policing isn't broken. And that guy apparently did nothing wrong, according to the investigation, after murdering Eric Garner for selling Lucy cigarettes, as the story goes. You know, which is probably bullshit too. Because fucking cops do nothing but lie through their teeth. Again, how can you expect us to respect you if you're a fucking bunch of professional liars who have short tempers and brutalize the public, little children sprayed with pepper spray? How can we fucking support you doing shit like that? It's not possible. We want to. Why can't you see that we want people we can support? Why can't you act like that's what you want too? Why can't you realize that's what you police want to? You want to be treated like heroes? The black mothers of this country want nothing more than to be able to look their sons and daughters in the eyes and say, the police are the heroes. If you ever have trouble, run to the police as fast as possible. None of them can say that right now. That's what America, what these United States are. And that's a bunch of bullshit. We can do better. Okay? And why wouldn't the cops want that too? Why wouldn't the cops want mothers saying that the cops are the heroes? Of course they would. But they're not doing anything to try and make it that way. They're not even acknowledging that the mothers can't do that right now, because the children are likely to get hurt by the police, because that seems like what the police do. And the people have every reason to fear them and stand up against them. Again, it looks a little heated there in D.C., so But at the same time, it looks like those guys aren't even wearing helmets. So if they're not wearing helmets, they're likely not to get too involved with the protesters. It looks like they're trying to kind of center on this one guy. See that? The one guy that's just in the back, the second row behind the line. Looks like they're trying to focus on that one guy in Washington, D.C. Very interesting. We will watch and see what happens. And apparently more and more people are coming out into Portland to sit and listen to those speak, and some will probably play music and do all the things that beautiful young people love to do. So, hold on just a minute. Let me see something. Yeah, there's music on that. We don't want to play music. I would let you guys hear that, but I'm not about to play copyrighted music on my live stream and have some kind of issue with the YouTube censors, because we have very little room to fight these days, the way YouTube is structured. And I'm quite certain they don't like what we do. Never have, never will. And that's when you know you're doing something right. So, it looks like the DC cops are keeping pretty cool. It looks like in Seattle, they're out in front of the police department and the cops are not fucking with them, which is the smartest thing to do. Don't fuck with the protesters, and the protesters will go home. You push the protesters, and the protesters will push back. Because the protesters have the Constitution on their side. And the Constitution and the founding fathers who created it couldn't stand the goddamn police state. Which is exactly what's wrong with all these motherfucking politicians that we have now. Is that they all love the police state. Anybody who believes Kamala Harris is going to do something about the police state hasn't paid attention to a single thing that's happened over the last 12 months. Not one bit. Kamala Harris will never, ever, ever for 1 second begin to even consider taking power away from the police. The police must have all the power. Otherwise, people like Senator Harris just could not continue to get away with their evil doings. What's happening? St. Louis, St. Louis, St. Louis. Uh-oh, Columbus. What's happening in Columbus? This is now... Let's see what's happening. Let me hear the fucking... Hold on. Let me hear what's happening. Hold on. Let's see if we can open this up.
People are having it out here. This is your first warning. First warning. Ties are out. Gears on.
Okay. He says, first warning that the protesters must disperse in Columbus. So it sounds like they're about to declare the protest in Columbus a riot. Okay, went to fireworks here. I don't want to listen to the fireworks in Washington D.C. I want to listen to goddamn rioters. I don't want to hear the fucking fireworks. Not rioters. I'm sorry, protesters. I want to listen to the protesters. So we can understand what it is that's happening here in Columbus. Anyways, we want to keep an eye on Columbus here. As I said, I expect a similar result here in Missouri any time now, because generally speaking, right around the time the local news goes off the air, the police have a tendency to get all fucking violent against the protesters, because the local news is now off the air, which means they won't be broadcasting live the violence that's going on against the Americans, which will just bring out more protesters in the street if they actually know it's actually going on live right now. Hello, caller. Caller. Oh, they hung up. I don't know what happened there. But they hung up. It was not me. So, again, it looks like the Columbus cops are about to get all aggro on the protesters. At least they're announcing that they have received their first warning. And so we'll see where it goes from here. Hopefully it won't go all gonzo, you know, like immediately. Wait, what's happening?
It's important for the people to hear this. Keep your windows rolled up. Turn your car off. Turn your car off. Turn your car off. Keep your windows rolled up. Turn your car off. Extra cams on. Recording.
Oh shit. What happened? God damn it.
This was a peaceful protest.
What happened?
Let's go!
So apparently, it looks like to me that the protesters in Columbus are setting up a car barricade between the police and the protesters, because the police have announced that this is some kind of an unlawful assembly. This is your second warning.
Press 1 to take this call.
Hello, caller.
What's up, Max?
Hey, I'm just doing this thing that I do. What is up with you?
Nothing much. So, turns out the news, it was a hoax.
Yeah, sure. I posted that video right away after the news came out.
Yeah. I said yesterday everybody needs to don't jump to conclusions. Just wait for the facts to come out. Turns out I was right. It was bullcrap. Everybody jumped on board.
Right, but everybody was trying to stick it on Bubba Wallace, and I don't really think Bubba Wallace had anything to do with it. I think it was all NASCAR acting like, and NASCAR acting like, oh, we're going to have this big stand where we can show everybody how much we support and, you know, how we're not going to stand for this kind of crap anymore. You know, it's just like take advantage of the moment kind of thing. I don't think it had anything to do with Bubba Wallace, honestly.
Well, here's where you're wrong, Mox. He just went on CNN and said, he doubled down and said it was a noose, and he said FBI is wrong.
Huh. Well, I didn't see that.
So we're gonna walk
Yep. Sure it is. And Mox, you always complain about the media, but you're constantly playing media clips from the mainstream. So
there's a reason for that, okay? I've been doing this a long time, and I've worked for some of the biggest websites on the internet, and they used to ask me, why do you keep playing this Pentagon propaganda stuff? And I looked them in the eye, and I said, because you know how the saying goes, you know, keep your friends close and your enemies closer, okay? You need to know what's being said so that you don't be caught off guard by it.
Yeah, but you're not posting it and critiquing it. You're just posting it as
It's not true. It's all critiqued. In fact, the title of today's NASCAR video was NASCAR Lies About News. Okay?
Well, NASCAR didn't lie about it.
Yes, they did. NASCAR lied about it. NASCAR had the video. NASCAR came out with it. NASCAR is the ones who did the big event before the race. It's NASCAR that lied about it.
Bubba Wallace just lied about it and doubled down and said it was a news.
Okay, well, I didn't see that video. Again, I will go look for that and I will post it if it's actually out there.
Yeah, Bubba Smollett, he knew what he was doing. He right away went to the media. He went on national television. He went on ESPN. He went on The View before the investigation.
Well, again, all I've said all along is where is the video, okay? NASCAR has all kinds of video of what happened there. So let's see the video. If it was already hanging there, then it was already hanging there. Let's see the video that shows that it was already hanging there. If it wasn't already hanging there, then let's see the video of who put it up. Okay? Again.
Yeah, there's videos up there. There's videos and pictures of it already hanging there since 2019.
Okay, well then there it is. Okay? It wasn't you know, NASCAR lied.
But Wallace lied too.
Well, I haven't seen that video. Final warning.
Party's over.
Final warning, you're seeing a recharge up a
Time
lot
to
of
go
people
home.
here.
Protesters.
Why don't you walk the line,
Time to
man?
go home because you're acting like a bunch of foolies.
And he hung up. Again, like the chicken that copsuckers are.
So that's a divide. The police, protesters.
Okay, so it's about to go down. Final warning in Columbus, Ohio. We'll keep a close eye on this for the moment. Again, I didn't hang up on that guy. Is a chicken shit, you know, who says something trollish and then runs away, you know. But that's what chicken shits do, right? That's what bootlickers do. That's what copsuckers do.
This is your lineup right there.
This is it. We won't go. Fuck that. Say, fuck the police.
Politicians have made their line, police have made their line, but they can't get through.
Fuck Trump. Just fuck everything. Fuck you people. You can't fucking make us leave. We won't go. I like that. Pretty good. They got everything blocked off, which is kind of cool.
Potential is that together. So we're not here to join any movement, riot, loot, protest.
We're not here to join.
We're here to walk in the front lines. When people are scared to go. This space that we've been walking back and forth, pacing, back and forth, anticipation.
All right, so we'll keep an eye on that here moving forward. But for now, what I want to do is I want to make sure that you guys know we do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So if you are new to Mox News, make sure you're subscribed and that you have hit the notification bell so that it dings when we go live or when I post a recorded video, which I do a lot all throughout the day. again, we have a barricade set up here in Columbus, Ohio, showing the protesters have, they've told the protesters to leave, and the protesters are saying, hell no, we won't go. And so we are, and the police have said this is your final warning. So we will see where this goes next. But hopefully the police aren't going to be dicks. Because I hate it when that happens. And it doesn't work. All that happens is more people come out. Okay, here go the police. Here go the police. Let's hear it. Let's listen in. Here go the police. They're moving forward.
Look, y'all don't know what the fuck y'all doing. Disorganized and shit. Like, what the fuck?
Y'all don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Hey, while your friends is back there, little piggies, what are you doing? I just want your line on that armor. Come on. Come on, let's square up for real. Fuck is you talking about? You can't do shit without your badge, your armor, your shit. What the fuck? Respect that. Take that shit off and stack.
This is some pretty good taunting right here. This I like. Yeah, take that fucking armor off. Let's see how brave you are then, big man. Come on. Come on. Take that armor off. Let's see how brave you are then.
Tell them to stop here. Tell them to stop here. They're moving the line there. They're moving the line there.
They're moving the line. They're moving the line. Look out. They're moving. They're moving. This is, again, Columbus, Ohio. Fuck Trump. Fuck Trump. There you go. That's the one I'm looking for. Fuck Trump. Fuck Trump. I say fuck, you say Trump. Fuck Trump. Fuck Trump. I love that. Fuck Trump, fuck Trump, fuck Trump. That's the chant, man.
All the angles here. Legal observers here. People inside the Levesque.
So anyways, again, this is Columbus, Ohio. The cops have announced a final warning, meaning you must disperse. It's illegal, otherwise you're subjected to violence and arrest, police brutality and arrest. So we want to definitely keep an eye on this, and we'll be right back to the audio momentarily if something happens. Otherwise, we have, again, if anybody wants to call, the number is 805-669-6397. And, oh, I like that taunting stuff. I got to listen to that, right? Let's see what we got. Let's hear the taunting. I love this stuff. Come on. Come on, you're so fucking badass. You think you're so fucking bad? You think you're so bad, G.I.? Fuck you, G.I. Come on, you got your little pussy helmet on. Come on. Just take off your little pussy helmet. You can keep all the other armor on. Just take off your little pussy helmet, and I'll show you what for. All right? Love these guys. Excellent work, Ohio. You show them you're not fucking afraid. You don't live in fear. All Alright, so we're going to keep an eye on this here for a minute. What we got there? Looks like St. Louis is all blurry. They went all blurry in St. Louis. But it looks like there's a few people there. Washington, D.C. They got the fences up. The cops are on the other side of the fences in D.C. You got a big ass gun, man. You got a big ass gun? Let's see your big ass gun. Why don't you fucking put down the big ass gun? Come over here and show us what a man you are. All right. So we're gonna pay attention to Columbus. It's gonna be okay. Cops are gonna make sure everybody knows who's in charge here momentarily. They got their gas mask on. They got their helmets. Momentarily. Here we go. Here we go. We'll watch for that. We will watch for that. I have a feeling momentarily we will be getting some tear gas. I mean, when you see them with their mask on, you got a feeling, you got a pretty good feel. That's not a good sign for the protesters. Let's just put it that way. All right, I'll let you listen. All right, you can listen. All right, all right.
Oh, shit. They got that gun right here at the corner now.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to get even higher. As you can see, we're now over everyone.
You got that big ass gun out. Got that big ass gun over here.
You see that? Wow.
That's what that guy is talking about. Oh, you got a big gun, huh? You got a big gun? Why don't you put the big gun down and come over here and let's see what a big man you are without your big gun. You gotta love it, baby. Oh, they got the tow trucks in. They got the tow trucks in. I don't think they can tow people if they're in their cars. I don't think it works that way. So, again, this is Columbus, Ohio. We got Portland down below, Washington, D.C., and Seattle. Looks like everybody's kind of camped out on the steps of the police department in Seattle and downtown. Here in Columbus, I'm not sure exactly where they are. A lot of times the protesters like to assemble around the courthouses, the symbol of injustice and oppression in this country. Because far too often, jail turns into a slavery sentence in this country. Oh, they're doing chalk drawings on the step of the police department. I love it. Chalk drawings on the steps of the police department.
You know what your streets look like, Columbus? Here you go.
All right, everybody stay calm. Everybody stay calm. It'll be cool. Man, I love that purple hair. I'd like to get a better look at that. It says racism is real. Right on the steps of the police department. This should be happening in every state, in every city across this great nation of ours. Chalk drawings on the steps of the police department. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Every side.
Because, of course, in numerous police stations across the United States, the cops will come out and start kicking you with their jackboots and beating you with their clubs. And we all know that's the fact, Jack. But we're waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting. Where'd the big gun go? Where'd the guy with the big gun go? Oh, there he is. Big guy, big gun. I bet he feels like a real man right now. Facing off with all these little girls in short shorts with his big gun. I bet you he feels like such a man. Is this really what the police should be doing? All jacked up in their riot gear against these people in shorts and their little their little backpacks. We're gonna pay attention. We're gonna pay attention. Just pay attention. Seeing what's happening. We'll keep a close eye. Nothing's happening yet. Everything's okay. That's right. Fuck you. Fuck you. If anybody wants to call, the number is 805-669-6397. It is good that the police have not overreacted. You see the guys in the white shirts, they don't have gas mask on, which tells me that they are not ready to be using their chemical weapons on their Missouri citizens just yet. I think the guys in front have it on as kind of a threat. But with the guys in the white shirts not wearing gas masks, it is not likely that they are about to open fire with gas. So that is a good sign. Yay, Missouri police. I don't think they've loaded up any cars yet. Did they? Did they tow any cars yet? Again, the number is 805-669-6397. If anybody wants to call, it's 805 Mox News. And we are doing this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific Time. So that we can discuss all the things that are going on in the world and not miss out on what's actually happening. When they talk about tomorrow how the Seattle Police Department was vandalized. Remember, you saw it here live. Those people with their chalk drawings, they must be stopped. And they must be penalized to the maximum penalty. We're going to make examples out of the bunch of them. Because nothing is more threatening than little girls with chalk. And I actually played a video like that for you in the last couple days. Little girls with chalk having the police called on them by a neighbor because they're doing a chalk drawing in the street. This says Black Lives Matter. I played that video for you. This is the police state in action. I am so fucking hungry right now. All right, so if anybody wants to call, numbers 805-669-6397, and we're watching Columbus, Ohio, and Portland, Oregon, and Washington, D.C., and the cops in Columbus are staying pretty calm for the moment. It looks like a bunch of them took their gas mask off, doesn't it? Looks like maybe they're not as many of them are wearing the gas mask anymore. That thing, it's got to be hot there, and that thing's got to be. No, they're still wearing them on the front line. But again, the guys in the white shirts don't have them on, and it's highly unlikely that they will drop tear gas with the guys in the white shirts without mask on. Or dispense any chemical agents, really. delivery. In case you want to hear what they're saying. That guy is very funny. That guy is very, very funny. Here, I'll make you more comfortable. Let me turn around so you can shoot me in the back. That's a pretty good one, man. I like that guy. Here you go. Here you go. Here's my back. Come on, I'm running. I'm running. Shoot me now. You know, murder me the way you guys like to do. The way you're known to do. Funny. All right, here now. We're going to keep an eye on Columbus for the moment because we don't want to miss out on something. It could happen any second. Okay, we got sirens. Here go the sirens. Final warning. They already gave the final warning, so we're clear. And the protesters in Seattle appear to be moving on from the steps of the police department, where they had their little chalk love-in fest. It's so scary. It's so scary. All the people with the chalk. Oh my God! I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna piss myself. I'm so scared right now. It's just terrifying. That's funny. That guy is funny, dude. He is a very funny guy. Like him. Here, let me turn around so you can shoot me in the back. Maybe I'd be more comfortable with that. Hilarious. So we'll keep an eye on this. We'll keep an eye on this. We'll keep an eye on this. I gotta listen. I gotta hear what they're saying. I love the taunting. Seattle's on the move. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Hello, caller. Hello?
Who's calling?
I'm sorry, I didn't call you. If somehow I was connected to you, I apologize.
Well, you know what's missing? Here's the leadership from our fucking
Who am I
community.
speaking with?
This is Mike from Mox News.
Politicians were created to follow the voice of the people.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Okay, I apologize. We're doing a live TV show, and apparently some troll is fucking with us. But if anybody wants to call instead of leaving me to the trolls, you are welcome to do so. 805-669-6397. We want to keep an eye on this for the moment because we're not sure what's going to happen there. You know, the police have already issued multiple final warnings and have put on their tear gas mask. So we don't want to leave these people hanging in the streets. It looks like Portland looks pretty calm. Portland looks pretty chill. Washington, D.C. looked like it chilled out. In I don't know. We have this horrible view of Missouri down in the corner, but we have an excellent view of Columbus up in the other corner, the opposite corner. So we will definitely be keeping an eye on Columbus from the... Oh my God, now they're skipping. They're skipping down the middle of the street. These people have no shame. They're skipping. They're happy. It's like, where are the fucking cops? These people need to know the reality of having their brains bashed in by the police right now in this moment. That's what needs to happen. Right? Bootlickers. We can't have people skipping down the middle of the street. That's just horrific. It's terrifying everyone in the neighborhood. It's just terrifying. It's just terrifying. It's just terrifying. Let's see. What time we got here? We got 9:42. So, we should be getting real close to shift change here on the Columbus, Ohio. And something tells me they're not going to want to stick around, standing around on their feet much past shift change. So, we got to keep an eye on it. I'm so hungry right now, but we really got to keep an eye on what's going on, because we don't want to, not be paying attention. Again, these people aren't doing anything. They're just not bowing down to the cops, and the cops can't stand that. All of these people in the street, that's the only thing that they're doing wrong, is they're not bowing down to the comply or die police state. And we can't have that in this country. You must bow down. You must kneel to the comply or die police state, or you're not a worthy citizen. And that is a beautiful thing, that these people are not willing to kneel. Kneeling is for slaves. And we're done with that. These people don't want to live their lives on their knees to the police state. The rest of their adult lives. They're young adults saying we don't want to live our lives on our knees to the police state, begging the police state not to shoot us. We don't want to do that. Begging the police state not to ruin our lives. We don't want to do that. We're done with that. That's not a future that we're looking forward to. It's good that Columbus is staying cool. Although they do seem to be kind of like grouping up over there. Like, okay, you guys ready? You guys ready? Okay, you ready? You ready? You ready? Here we go. You ready? Here we go. Better watch. Better watch. Got their stormtrooper gear on. They're ready to rumble. I bet you they're trained on how to smash people's fucking wrists and knees with those forearm armor. I bet you they know how to use that really well, like break people's noses and smash their fucking jaws and shit. I bet you they train on exactly how to do that. And that's the problem, people. We deserve better. These people in the street, these beautiful young people, deserve a better future than that. Because it's just going to get worse. Right? The police state isn't going to back down unless we make it. And if you just stand with us, we could do anything. Stop buying into the division. Stop buying into the fear. We will keep an eye on Columbus here for a moment. We're not going anywhere just yet, that's for sure. Gotta make sure we know what's going on in Columbus. Let's see. What is going on in Columbus? Nothing yet. Good, good, good. All right. All right, so I have another video I want to play for you guys here, which is about jail equals slavery, so, or too often equals slavery. So I want to play that real quick because I thought it was a great quote. It's a very short clip. Well, hold on just a minute. This is what's going to make everything better.
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am? You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
Okay, so where'd Columbus go? Where'd Columbus go? We lose Columbus? What happened to Columbus? Shit. I don't know what happened to Columbus. People in Seattle look very happy. Don't they look very happy? Again, the media is going to try and get you to believe, oh, everything's going south for the protesters in Seattle. Yeah, that's why they're dancing in the street. Because everything's going south for the protesters in Seattle. It's just so horrific there that the protesters are dancing in the middle of the street. Horrific, I tell you. Fuck, we lost fucking Columbus. That's too bad. Well, hopefully Columbus didn't go south and the camera, the live feed got taken out or something. We'll have to look and see if we can find another live feed. Just a minute. Just a minute. We'll see what we can do. Alright, so I had another video that I wanted to play for you about jail equaling slavery. I told you guys that. I thought it was a pretty profound quote, and I wanted to play it with you if you didn't already see it from my earlier post.
Thank you. Today, friends and family said their final goodbyes to Rayshard Brooks during a private funeral service in Atlanta. Brooks was killed a week and a half ago by an Atlanta police officer. Officers attempted to arrest him for DUI at a Wendy's parking lot. Brooks resisted, grabbing one of the officer's tasers and appearing to point it in the direction of an officer who shot him.
He was afraid of losing his liberty. He lost his life running from a system that too often makes slaves out of people.
Both officers involved in Brooks's death face multiple charges, including a felony murder charge for former officer Garrett Rolfe. He's being held without bond. The police killings of Rayshard Brooks and George Floyd in Minneapolis are fueling the calls for police reform across the nation, but it's sparking a partisan standoff in the Senate. Here's a live look at D.C. Democrats and reform activists say the Republican-authored Justice Act doesn't do enough.
Because the bill needs such large-scale and fundamental change, there is no conceivable way that a series of amendments strong enough to cure the defects in the bill could garner 60 votes either. So no bill will pass.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is calling for both parties to come together to create a bipartisan police reform bill.
Okay, and again, I thought that was a pretty amazing quote that we do talk about here from time to time, that you know, this prison and for-profit prison industrial complex basically equals slavery, which benefits the for-profit prison industrial complex zero to reform anyone, which is what prison is supposed to be all about, is reforming people. And it does not benefit the for-profit industrial prison complex to reform a single person, and that should be obvious to everyone. Okay, so Seattle is going for a little walkabout. I can't tell exactly where they are. It looked like they're headed up the hill towards the CHOP, but I'm not certain. I don't know what we got here in Seattle. That looks like some kind of a scaffolding. And then it looks like there's a monument being taken down in Charleston, North Carolina. And a bunch of people still in the park in Oregon, Portland. I sure wish we could see what was going on in Columbus. That would be nice. All right. Well, let's see. There was another video that I did want to play for you about Arizona police clashing with protesters outside the Trump protest. Again, if you pay attention to the video, what you will see is that there are children among the protesters, and apparently the police using some kind of a chemical agent to disperse the protesters with the police. Again, setting up a stampede type of mode with little children in the protest. Okay? It's disgusting that police could possibly act this way, endangering the lives of little children. And why you wouldn't want a better world than cops putting little children's lives in danger on a regular basis because they can is beyond me.
And speaking of police, I want to take you live out to Phoenix, Arizona right now, where Phoenix PD and you have protesters kind of facing off here. So keep in mind, in Phoenix right now, it's around 107 degrees. Imagine being suited up with shields and all of this gear here to take on these protesters or these people out here. Now, what they're doing right now is they're protesting outside of where President Trump has been speaking now for the last, 45 minutes or so. Let's take you to that. I'm going to show you this. So this is following his tour along the southern border in Yuma, Arizona. So he's speaking there to Students for Trump. It's a conservative youth group there inside. You can see he's pretty hot right now, too. It's probably pretty warm in there as it's 107 degrees outside, like I mentioned a few minutes ago. But in Phoenix, he's been talking about the protests happening around the country and also the one happening right outside where he is right now, and the attacks by who he calls anarchists on social historical sites, that is, saying the beloved heroes of American history should not be torn down by the militant mobs, he calls them. But he also said earlier today on the White House lawn before leaving for Arizona that he announced plans. He's going to issue some kind of executive executive order to protect statues and other historical monuments with possible long-term jail sentences. Hasn't announced exactly what that entails, but I want to take you back out live now to Phoenix, Arizona. You can see some of the protesters here. This is a live shot on the ground here as PD, they were a second ago as we were watching, firing some kind of projectiles possibly into the air or something to try to disperse this crowd, possibly pepper spray or something of that sort, but we're still working to figure out exactly what that is. But keeping in mind, again, it's 107 degrees outside right now where people are gathering, and it is downright hot. So we'll keep an eye on this and bring you the very latest as this develops on Como News. I want to take you out live to Phoenix right now. This is a look at the protesters out there as President Trump is speaking inside of a rally right now, or a kind of a campaign event, if you will. He's speaking to a conservative youth group. There, his daughter Ivanka is speaking now. But you can see all these people out here are clashing with police. You can see at the far end of your screen. And again, the temperature out there around 106 degrees. We've even seen kids out here with some of their parents at this protest. Mary, I'll send it back to you.
Wrong one. Let's see. That I'm not sure what that is a monument of in. Okay, there's Columbus again in the bottom on the bottom right hand corners here. It looks like I can't see if they moved, if the police moved. It doesn't look like the police moved from what I can see, but I can't tell. I don't know what it was that dropped the video there. In Columbus, but it's back. We'll keep an eye on it here momentarily. It looks calm, but I don't see any of the protesters, so I'm not sure if they got cleared out through some type of force or what's going on there. Let's see, is that protesters right there? It looks like the cops have removed their tear gas, their gas mask also. So that's a very positive sign. Hopefully that means that there wasn't some kind of violence and that there's not going to be. Yeah, okay, it looks like the protesters are still there in Columbus and Portland and Seattle and Charleston. In Charleston, the protesters are there also. Charleston, North Carolina. Yeah, so they took the mask off in Columbus, which is a really, the gas mask. The cops are no longer wearing their gas mask, so that's a very, very positive sign. I mean, they still have them on their belt, which, just takes a minute to put on, but they were wearing them on their faces momentarily ago, and I guess they changed their stance, which is really good, because last thing anybody needs is more brutalizing by the police. At least I hope they changed their stance. We will watch. I mean, obviously they have, because when they take the tear gas mask off, that's what it's all. That's exactly what they're doing, is changing their stance, right? They're relaxing their stance. They're not about to use chemical weapons on the public if they're not wearing their mask. That is a very positive thing. So, and it looks pretty official as far as this monument coming down in North Carolina, in Charleston. Whatever's happening there looks like it's being carried out by people who have proper lighting and other equipment to do the job correctly. So, hopefully everything will remain calm and no one will be hurt this evening. That would be a real bonus, because it's a big part of what's happening. It's a big part of why the people are on the street. They're tired of seeing the public get hurt by an over-intrusive, heavily armed comply or die police state. And if you're not tired of seeing the public get harmed by that, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, I believe we have a much more relaxed stance here in Columbus, so that's a good thing. I am very glad to see that. And again, they have professional light set up and professional equipment that looks like they're going to remove this monument in Charleston, South Carolina. I'm not sure who the monument is to. You could probably look it up. Let me see if I can look it up. It says, is that one? Let's see. It says, let's see, the latest news says John C. Calhoun monument to be removed or relocated. John C. Calhoun. So that may be this in Charleston. That's what the local news is talking about. We will see. Alright, let's see. Okay, so anyways, that's what we have going on this evening. I have a couple more videos if you guys would like to see them. What videos do we have here left? We have, let's see, Alzheimer's and, oh, Arizona police clash. Oh, we just did that one. So we don't have all that many left. I mean, I have a couple, but they're not, Ensley makes masks mandatory in Washington State. In Washington State, if you go out in public, it is now mandatory to wear a mask, a face mask covering. So the world's gone crazy. And there is a criminal penalty if you do not wear the face mask. You can be subject to a misdemeanor ticket. Misdemeanor ticketing. So I don't know if they expect people to call the police when they see you walking down the street without a mask, but I think this petty tyrant here in Washington State has gone a little across the line there, telling everybody what they have to do. Fear, 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 fear. It's disgusting. Too many people acting like they don't have to do what I advise them to do, so I'm going to make it mandatory. Whew. All right, I need a little water. What time is it? Let's watch the local I don't see anything. Well, the local does such a horrible job of covering what's actually happening. You know, I mean, the last thing that they're going to do is show you people sitting on the steps of the Seattle Police Department drawing chalk drawings. Okay, what they are going to show you on the Seattle local, here, let me restart the Seattle local here so you can see what's at the top of the news on the Seattle local, right? There it is. Okay, top of the news. What they're going to show you is people looting. Boom, people looting. But, you know, did they mention that the Bellevue police said that the looters had absolutely nothing to do with the protesters? No, because they're fucking assholes on the local news just as much as on the mainstream media. And I'm disgusted by it. I couldn't be more disgusted by the local news. It really bothering me. Okay, so let's see. Charleston. Let's hear what's happening in Charleston. You want to hear what's happening in Charleston? Let's hear what's happening in Charleston. Let's see. Hold on, just a sec here.
Thank you. You don't have statues in Liberty Society. You don't have statues in our society that glorify people that have your capabilities.
So what's happening in Charleston? They're taking down a monument in Charleston. Professionally, not protesters. This is a professional monument removal in Charleston. Yeah, so Lord Nelson's pillar? Lord Nelson's pillar? Lord Nelson's pillar? Lord Nelson. Is that what we're looking at here? Lord Nelson? Alright, so, and Portland, is there a bunch of cops in Portland?
Do you know how many historical figures don't have fucking statues that we're aware of, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need... I live in the heart of fucking tour. I live down in the French Quarter where all the fucking tours go by. There's not one fucking tour that goes by the fucking statue where they talk about the fucking statue. People are free to walk by the statue that they had to elevate the shit out of because people kept fucking vandalizing it because it's a fucking...
Okay, that's the 1920s. 100 years ago.
100 years ago, they were vandalizing the shit out of the statue. So they had to raise the pillar. They had to raise it with a pillar to get it out of reach of the people that were vandalizing it.
It was wrong. It's such a fucking no-brainer that it's a fucking eyesore. Get out of my fucking face. Because that's how I talk. Grow up. I know emotions are high. It's okay. It's okay to say the F word.
Because it's how people talk. That's how people talk. Grow up. It's how people talk.
From the bottom of my heart, sir, from the bottom of my heart, I want you to know this. Fuck slavery. Fucking snowflake.
Fuck the police.
You're offended over the word fuck.
Well, it sounds like people are having a good time out there, whatever's going on. The removal of Lord Nelson, is that what it is? Lord Nelson statue? They said it had to be raised 100 feet. I mean, it had to be raised up on the pillar because people have been attacking this statue. It was raised up on the pillar 100 years ago because people have been attacking this statue for that long. So, again, you know, you have to be about the people. You have to be about the people.
What you're saying right here.
You have to stand with the people.
You're not looking at his history.
Otherwise, who do you stand with,
as a slave owner.
If you're not
his
standing with the
beliefs
people,
in slavery, you're looking
where
at
are you standing?
the other accomplishments and being vice presidents of the United States.
Twice.
So, twice.
And plus everything else, all the other
I
offices he held,
am
and what he did to build the country.
so hungry. Oh, little girls in short shorts terrify
that
me.
owned slaves. You know, that was, I'm sorry to say, but I mean, that was the thing.
Let's see what this guy's talking
the people in Africa sold their brethren to come over here, you know, and they came here, but it didn't work. It didn't work. And the people took care of them this time, but they had to all go.
They had to all go where? Where did they all have to go?
Please put your mask over your face. You can stand to the side. Go stand over there. 6 feet away. No, I asked you a question. I asked you a very reasonable request. Thank you.
Please put your mask up over your face. Because I'm in charge. I'm the mask police. And you don't have your mask over your face.
But anyway.
Okay.
But anyway, fuck you.
So let's talk about.
You want the freedom to do what you want, but I want to not wear a mask, and you want to tell me what I have to do?
And what he's justified in what he did because you had some black people who sold black people.
Well, he's not
to
justified
Europeans.
with it. They came over here to help. And if it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for the slaves, we couldn't have grown the rice. We couldn't have grown the cotton. We couldn't have gotten the crops to get the money to grow the country. You know?
Yeah, I don't think that's true. If we didn't have the, you guys get that? If we didn't have slavery, we wouldn't have been able to build the country. Because we wouldn't have been able to have what we needed, the labor we needed to make the country great. That's what this guy, this white guy right there, who I believe is upset about this statue coming down, just said. He said, if we didn't have slavery, we never would have made, the country never would have been great, because we wouldn't have been able to build the country. We wouldn't have been able to make the country, and the money to make the country as great as we have. And again, and I bet that guy is 100% against reparations. So, you know, and I think that, you know, if reparations are going to make things better, I don't see what the problem is with that. But this guy just said that if it wasn't for slavery, we wouldn't have been able to make the country great in the first place. And I think that's the point of reparations, is that the people who helped build the country and make it great in the first place didn't get their due out of making that happen. They didn't get you know, they didn't get the money, right? He said we wouldn't have been able to make the money to make the country great. And that's what these people who helped build the country are saying, you know, is that they helped make the country great, but they didn't get their share of making the country great. And anyone should be able to hear that, especially after just listening to what that guy said. It seems pretty easy to understand, right? Okay, so Columbus, Ohio police have backed way off from their aggressive stance. They came out, they issued a final warning, they put on their tear gas mask, and then they backed off. So, I don't think anything's going to happen there in Columbus. Portland is going for a nice long walkabout. Once again, thousands of protesters in Portland going on their nightly walkabout, making sure everybody knows who the streets belong to, just as the Columbus, Ohio cops have just found out clearly. And let's see, and Seattle is chill. And what's happening in Seattle? Looks like there's some people on the street here in Seattle. What's happening in Seattle here? Is that the freeway? They're not going back on the freeway, are they? I don't think so. But I can't tell just yet. We'll keep an eye on that for just another minute here. But I gotta warn you, I'm getting super hungry. So if anybody wants to call, now would be the time to do it, because otherwise I'm going to be out of here very, very soon. See that peace sign, the sign in the Portland, Oregon walkabout there? I love that peace sign, and I have seen it night after night after night in the Portland protest. So whoever made that, good work, and whoever fucking coming out night after night after night, good work. And peace, yes, peace. Peace. One of these days this war is going to end. Peace. That's what I keep saying. That's what we can accomplish if we can come together. And how can that not be a good thing for everyone? Right? Peace. We could accomplish peace. We could end this Team America World Police bullshit and actually have money for schools and to help people make a better world instead of, the world police. The never-ending policing of the world by America. Team America. Fuck yeah! Lick my ass and suck on my balls. America. Fuck yeah. Oh, look, the second shift's coming in Columbus. I told you it was about shift change. I told you shift change was coming up. Alrighty. Lots of people in Portland. Portland is so beautiful. I love you guys in Portland. You guys rock it every night. You should be incredibly proud. You're all very brave people. And I commend you. Yes, hands up. Don't shoot. Night after night. Gotta love it, baby. Okay, so I am about done. We're not getting any phone calls, and this is a call-in show, and I don't want to sit here and ramble all night long. So if you guys want to call, again, this is going to be your last chance to keep... Uh-oh, what's happening in Columbus? What is happening in Columbus? Better find out. Better find out what's happening in Columbus. Hold on. What's it saying? Columbus. Oh, it's just shift change. It's just shift change?
Why are you on the sidewalk? You're on the same road she was.
Yeah. Okay. Well, at least they're still not wearing gas masks. The police are not wearing gas masks in Columbus. So that is.
Get the fuck out of here!
Who are they arresting?
Are you fucking kidding me? No! Get the fuck out of here! Don't get me up! Are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck? Get the fuck away from me! Christina!
Get the fuck away from me! Get the fuck away! The whole world's watching. The whole world is watching.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
She's black, that's it!
She's black, get her. Fuck blue? Are they saying fuck blue? What are they saying? Alright, so I don't know, they just arrested somebody in Columbus, which seems to have riled up the crowd. Because the people are tired of bowing down and being forced to lick boots. What is that noise, man? That click, 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 click. Sounds like a taser, doesn't it?
Exactly, the same fucking people. Why can't you make eye contact?
Yeah, why are you so
You're
fucking...
a fucking coward?
Yeah, because you're a pussy. A giant fucking pussy.
Ashamed of themselves. Every single one of them should be. I hope you know how... Fuck 12! Abolish the fucking police!
Abolish the fucking police. Goddamn right. Fuck the police.
Fuck union. And all they got is that dumbass Sarah McLaughlin looking nonsense.
Also, Pat is an angel. I just want everybody on Facebook to know that.
Fuck the police. This is unacceptable. At least they don't got their mask
You
on.
just cornered the smallest black woman with 25 of you for what?
Giant fucking pussies.
It doesn't compute.
With all your fucking armor. Fuck the police.
Why are you smirking? Are you about...
Huh? What happened? Oh, we lost that video.
Rights as a civilian. Let's just get as close to the fucking sidewalk as we can. Just so that if somebody steps 1 inch onto the street, they can brutalize and arrest them.
There you go. That's the facts, Jack. This is the America that we are currently living in.
Yeah, I know. I don't know who he is, Dustin. Are you the police? Because you don't have your gear marked, sir.
Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Why does your vest not say that you're with the police? Are you a cadet or some shit? Did you get it from the Army surplus store because they ran out? Like, why does it not say police on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, they don't fucking answer any questions.
Yeah.
Even if they're legitimate, like, wanting to know if you're actually a police officer or not, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck. That's for sure. They don't give a fuck at all. Which is the problem. The police act like they have zero responsibility to act with respect to anyone. And that's bullshit. They want to be treated with respect. You act with respect towards others. This is the public that you serve. These people sign your paycheck.
I know, Kiara. We can tell. You can feel it in the air that they're getting really pissed off.
It's that their tiny little dicks are curling up in their fucking pubic hairs and they can't stand that.
Yeah, did you guys see how many people were in the crosswalks, but they specifically chose to target the activist with a megaphone, who also happens to be black? What a coincidence.
Yeah. Did you see that? No, we didn't see that, but I take your word for it.
I'm trying to scan and keep an eye on things so that if anything else like that happens, I can keep an eye on it.
Yeah, we gotta keep an eye on this. That's why I keep saying we gotta keep an eye on it. Don't know what's gonna happen. And we don't want the police to be able to get away with brutality.
Taylor, it was more than 5. It was more than 5 officers that went to arrest this girl that's not even 5 foot tall.
Well, cops are a bunch of pussies. Again, I keep talking about little girls in short shorts. She says not even 5 feet tall. These cops gotta be armored from head to toe in order to deal with little girls in short shorts dancing in the streets.
On Amazon, sir?
Because it's so fucking terrifying.
It don't say police on it, so we don't know where it came from.
Yeah, what's the deal,
I think it's from
bud?
Amazon.
Huh? What's
He
the
does
deal?
have his badge number. I can't see what it is because his helmet's covering it. So at least, you know, he's probably a cop.
Probably.
I mean, yeah, he pretty much is because, I mean, he's standing a foot into the street, so he would have been brutalized by now.
You actually responded to me. I still don't like you, but that's more than I could say about these other cops.
Don't like you. Little girls in short shorts dancing in the streets. It's so scary. I'm so scared right now. I don't know what to do.
It doesn't say anything. I don't know if it says something on the back, but at least on the front, it doesn't say anything at all.
Which again is not legal, I'm sure.
40.
The police have to be clearly marked. You can see how all the rest of them, it says police in big letters, because they have to be clearly marked so you know.
Kiara is excellent. She is a wonderful human being, and I love her. I just recently met her, and she is fabulous, and she has been a very important person.
That's probably the person that got arrested.
In my activist life, she does a lot of great things for her community in and out of this movement. So she is absolutely wonderful, and I want to shout you out for that, Kiara.
They are dancing in the streets. They are dancing in the streets. It's so scary. It's so scary. We better drop tear gas on them. They're dancing in the streets.
Joining, this is near City Hall. There was no property destruction, no vandalism,
City Hall. Okay, so they're in City Hall in Columbus.
That there were protesters in the street.
Protesters in the street. They're dancing. The police can't handle it. They're dancing. They're little girls dancing in the street.
I mean, Lawrence, they don't stop rapes and murders anyways, so no, they probably wouldn't be out doing that if they weren't here.
Right. They don't. They don't stop rapes and murders. That's exactly right. And they don't, even after somebody gets raped, they almost never do anything about it. Right? There's rape kits, stacks and stacks and stacks of rape kits that have never been properly processed.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Because the police don't really give a shit. Are the police making an announcement? Fuck blue! Fuck blue. Fuck blue. Uh-oh. Well, we lost our audio there. We'll come back to that momentarily. Columbus looks hopping. Hopping in Columbus. Portland is on the move. Going for a little walkabout. And we're not sure exactly what it is that's happening in Seattle or Columbus just yet. But we'll keep an eye on it for another minute. I am terribly hungry, but this seems more important at the moment than a snack. So let's keep an eye on this so we know what's happening. Seattle's going for a little walkabout. Portland's going for a little walkabout. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I love seeing the people walk. This is one of the things that you never see the people do anymore. The people just don't walk enough. Right? You understand? They don't. They don't walk enough. I've talked about this a lot. People just don't walk anymore. So it's a beautiful thing to see them all walking, going for a nice walkabout on a lovely summer evening in Portland, in Seattle, in Columbus. I'm not sure what's happening in Columbus. We're going to have to keep an eye on Columbus for a minute. Someone just got arrested there moments ago, and it looks like the police are pulling back again. Are the police pulling back again? Are they grouping? What's happening here? We will have to keep an eye on Columbus for the moment. Hopefully we'll be able to get a bite to eat in a moment. In a minute. Wait, I really need a food. But until then, we'll keep an eye on this because we can. And it's probably important to do so. It's very interesting. I think the police are just beginning to figure out that the whole world is watching. I believe the police are just beginning to understand that. And that's a very good thing, because when you know the whole world's watching, and you do evil, you know you're not going to get away with it. So hopefully they'll stop doing evil, right? Again, they put their tear gas mask on in Columbus and then took them off, because it's not right to brutalize the people in that way. It's just not right. So, oof. They're out in front of City Hall. If anybody's wondering, they're out in front of City Hall in Columbus. Is that a copy of the Constitution? I'm not sure what she got there. All right. I think I'm gonna have a dab, because I can. Have a little puffy. If anybody wants to join me in a puff, I'm gonna have a little puff, because that sounds nice. It looks like the cops in Columbus backed up a little bit here. It looks like there's more of them than there were, but I'm not sure. It may be that they're all grouped together now and they weren't before. I can't tell if they have put their gas mask back on or not, because that would be one of the reasons that they might back off, because they're about to launch a bunch of tear gas. That'd be stupid. There's just not that many people there. Okay, it looks like they don't have their gas mask on, so they won't be launching tear gas, which is really good. You know, it's not like these people somehow pose a threat. They're just simply not complying. We're done complying. That is the message that I'm getting. We're done with your comply or die police state. So, the sooner you figure that out, the sooner we can all move forward with something better. Of course, we know you'll drag your feet as long as possible, and your accomplices, the Congress of these United States, will do everything in their power to trickle out your freedom in the smallest little droplets as possible, because that is who they are. It is who they have always been, and as long as they have D's and R's next to their name, it is who they will always be, apparently. So we must get rid of the D's and the R's. They're fucking worthless and have worked together tirelessly to bring us this police state that we all see in front of our eyes right now. They have worked tirelessly, hand in hand, with big smiles on their faces, to bring us to this moment in history, where the people once again have taken to the streets to demand that their voices be heard by their representative government. A long and proud American tradition. You guys ready? I'm almost ready. I'm almost ready. A little hot still. Portland looks very chill. Whatever it is that's going on there. I'm not sure how many people are still on their walkabout. Let's see. Columbus, Seattle looks nice, right? Seattle looks like they're having a nice walkabout. They're like, oh, everybody's so sad in the Seattle protest. Everybody's just horrified by what happened. No, they're out marching in the streets, dancing, making chalk drawings. Okay, this is what happens We've watched, I played a video last night. Gunfire rings out from coast to coast. Welcome to America. So nice. All right, so it looked like the Columbus police backed up behind the police cars, which I don't think that means that they're going to move in or anything. I think that just means, you know, there's really nothing happening. So we can just back the fuck up. We don't need to be in these people's faces. It's not doing anything but aggravating them. They're not doing anything but standing there. We don't have to take such a threatening stance, which would be nice if cops got that message from one end of the country to the other. And your police state media could get a fucking clue. We recognize you, police state media. We understand you are the enemy. Donald Trump's been telling us a long time. Unfortunately, he clouds the message by not including the police state, by not pointing out the fact that you are an arm of the police state, which you certainly are. Media, mainstream media, local media, clearly an arm of the police state. Here comes a cop. What are they doing? What are they doing? The cop's taking off? What are they doing? Cops are on the move in Columbus. Just two of them? Are they all going to go? Looks like they're taking off. Cops are on the move in Columbus. They're not going to leave a whole bunch of people surrounding the city hall? Let's hear whether we can, I guess we can listen here for a minute. Let's hear what we got here. Let's hear what it sounds like. No peace. Bye bye. Bye bye. Who's streets? Who's streets? Good job, Columbus. Columbus, you should be very proud. I'm very proud of you. You should be very proud. Everyone should be proud of these beautiful people in the streets demanding a better world for everyone. And I believe that's the protest. That audio is coming from the Seattle protest. The people dancing in the street in Seattle. It looks like there's still quite a few people in Portland. They tend to stay out fairly late. But again, the people are... there go all the cops in Columbus. Thank God. Thank God. See, you get the... Maybe you could go pay attention to some criminals, huh? I love that one guy. That one guy in Columbus who's like turning his back on the cops. Here, maybe this will make it easier so he can shoot me in the back like you guys love to do. That was awesome. That was freaking awesome. You guys rocked it in Columbus. Good job, Columbus. I have never been so proud of Ohio in all my life. That's the facts, Jack. All right, so good. What we see happening is the police realizing that is the police realizing that these people aren't really a threat to anyone, right? We watched, this is, I don't know what that is. That's not live in Columbus. We just watched all these cops move out of Columbus. That appears to be a recording because we just watched all these cops drive away. So I'm pretty sure that's not what's going on live in Columbus right now. It went ahead and re-upped the video. Right now, they just exited that intersection in Columbus. See, you can see it there in the middle section. All the police have left that intersection in Columbus, Ohio. The video on the right-hand corner, upper corner, is a video. It is a recording. It is not what is actually happening. So we're clear. The protesters stared down the police, and the police turned tail and took off. You know, I mean, they stood there and they stared them down and threatened the fuck out of them, which is what police do best. But when it came right down to it, you know, they arrested one little 5-foot-tall black girl with a megaphone because they can. Hopefully she will be released without any kind of charges because that's just stupid. She didn't do anything. So Portland's on a walkabout. Seattle's on a walkabout. They love to go on their walkabouts in Portland and Seattle. And I am very happy to see it. You can tell that the people in Seattle are certainly not losing their faith as to what it is that they're making happen, regardless of what the mainstream media may be telling you, or even the local media, which is just as full of shit as the mainstream media. So we're clear. And everybody should know that by now. Because it's not just the mainstream media that for generations has told us about how the reefer madness is going to get us, keeping safe medicine from people who desperately need it. Desperately need it. Safe medicine that actually works, allowing them to experience hundreds of seizures a week. Little children experiencing hundreds of seizures a week because marijuana, because of the reefer madness. That's who the local media is. That's who the mainstream media is. That's who the Congress is. That's who the White House is. That's who the Supreme Court of these United States are. So we understand each other. I am so hungry. Let's see. So Seattle is rocking it with a lovely little walkabout, making sure everybody knows that they're not done yet. Okay, Mayor, whatever your face is, Durka, Mayor Durka, we're not done here yet. So we'll let you know when the chop is over, but it ain't over yet. Okay, Mayor Durka. And that's not racist, by the way. I am getting so hungry. Oh my God, I don't think I can handle it much longer. Dun dun dun. Okay, so anyways, we are here, and this is what's happening, and it's becoming clear to the police apparently that brutalizing these people simply because you can is not acceptable. Because they've stopped doing it in Seattle, even though the chief of police is begging for the ability to do it once again. And the chief of police today was it today? Was it today? I believe it was yesterday. Was begging, literally, please let us have these tools back. The ability to tear gas, to shoot with rubber bullets, and to drop flashbang grenades on protesters, who the reason that ability was taken away from them in the first place is because they were using flashbang grenades and tear gas and rubber bullets on people without provocation. Right? So the police are brutalizing people simply because, again, as I said, they're tired of standing there in their jack boots. They're tired of standing there in their jack boots, and they want to go home. They want to get off their feet. So they drop flashbangs. So they drop tear gas because we're tired. We don't want to deal with this anymore. Again, brutalizing the people without provocation, and that's why the Seattle police are no longer allowed to use those tools, because a federal judge has blocked them from using those weapons, chemical weapons, pepper spray, tear gas. Those are chemical weapons. The Pentagon does not use those in Afghanistan or Iraq or any other theater of war, because there would be a chemical weapons investigation if they were to do that. But the police in this country have not hesitated to use chemical weapons on peaceful protesters without provocation again and again and again. Actually, they shot a 90-pound girl in the chest with a flashbang grenade in Seattle. Her hands in the air, just like this. They shot her in the chest with a flashbang grenade. Completely illegal. And when it hit her, it stopped her heart immediately. And if there were not for the incredibly brave medics that were on site in with the protesters, that rushed into fire and immediately began CPR on her, she would have died. So yes, these are incredibly brave people who are standing up to a trigger-happy, heavily armed, comply or die police state. I don't know what BHAZD, DC? It must be Washington, D.C. maybe? BHAC, I'm not sure what that is. Let's see. It looked like they're a little nervous in that group, whatever that is. They look like they're worried something bad is going to happen. It seems to be a looping clip. I'm not sure. No. But if I was a protester in D.C., I would be very, very concerned, especially with the way that Donald Trump is talking about the protesters in Washington, D.C. and other places around the world. Because to call, American protesters terrorists from the White House, just as Barack Obama did. He didn't actually call them that, but with his Department of Homeland Security, they labeled the Occupy protesters potential terrorists, which in the time of a war on terror, there is no such thing as a potential terrorist. So we're clear. And Barack Obama then sent in their jackbooted thug police state to bloody the skulls of the protesters, which they did, and many, many more people came out into the streets, and they bloodied many, many, many more skulls. Because that's who Barack Obama was. The guy who, when he was campaigning, said, if the people go into the streets, I will be standing there shoulder to shoulder with them. Really? Because I missed that. I must have missed that, Mr. President. I did not notice you doing that. I apologize. I can't pay attention to everything, but I never saw you standing shoulder to shoulder with the people in the street. Nor do I see you doing it now. Okay? If Barack Obama was half the man he in his own infinite ego believes that he is, he would be standing with the people in the streets now. But he's not half the man that he in his infinitely large ego believe that he is. Of course, obviously, duh. Basically, he's just another war criminal. Just like all the war criminals before him and all the war criminals that will come after him, who must be imprisoned for the rest of their lives in order to make the world a safer place for little children. It's very easy to understand if you only try. Okay, so it looks pretty chill in Seattle. I mean, there's definitely people in the street. In Portland, there's definitely people in the street. In Columbus, definitely people in the street. In Charleston, definitely people in the street. But it looks pretty chill. So I think we will go ahead and we will call it an evening there. But we'll be back tomorrow and every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So be sure and set your DVRs and your notification bell. Make sure you're subscribed, because we know you don't want to miss out on one call-in show. We'll be back tomorrow, same Mox time, same Mox channel. Until then, stay cool, because one of these days, this war is going to end. Gotta end one of these days. It just does. And hopefully, that's the direction these people are headed, because that would be freaking awesome once they start talking about the endless wars of choice based on lies, like the drug war. That would just be awesome. Stay cool till then.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.